Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode, I forgot what we're on, part 6 of my thoughts on every episode of Star Trek series. We're up to Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2, and Windgrace is excited because this season features his favourite character of all time, Dr. Catherine Pulaski. I think he's in love with her. And I think she's a better doctor than Dr. Crusher. But there we go. But she only features in this season. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. If you're a member, you can join us in the live chat. I'm pointing at it. It's over there. Look. Or wherever it shows on your screen. What else? Explore the description for various links for merch, such as t-shirts like this, or my Patreon, websites and stuff. My books, Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure. Sorry, when they threw my book up like that, a bit of dust went. That's what I looked up for then. A light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff like that, and Silent Predator short horror novella about big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village. Right. Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2. Also super chats, super thanks, all that stuff would be greatly appreciated. Or become a member. Hang on, where's my member thing I can put on? Just for a moment. Where is it? I'll make myself tiny. Right, hang on. Put the member thing on. Where have I put it? There it is. Oh. It's supposed to be. Where is it going? Hang on, just bear with me. There, become a member. I've got 2 proper members, Windgrace and Justin34, and several gifted members. I shall have to gift some more, shan't I? I'll do it now. Sod it. I'm going to gift some members now. See which. I wish you could target the members, but anyway. So just bear with me while I find the blooming live stream. Eh dear. Because for some reason, hang on. Share it. For some reason, I can't do it through the. Even though the option's there to do it, it won't let me do it through the I don't know what they call it, the studio, the YouTube studio. It won't let you do it for some weird reason. Right, membership gifting. There we go. I shall gift 5 memberships because I've not made the money. You see some of these streams there, like 50 gifted memberships and stuff like that. I'm thinking, bloody hell, where do they get the money from? Anyway, I will gift 5 memberships because I'm not loaded. Right, buy, it says B-U-Y, not B-Y-E, buy. When it's ready. We'll find out who's being gifted memberships. Right, Sci-Fi Quest were gifted a membership, that's cool. And Baby End the Game were gifted one, yay! And Dan Crane, and Aurora Uplinks, and Ruby and Reynolds, welcome to the membership club. I haven't seen Sci-Fi Quest for a while. I wonder what he's up to. Well, I know what he's up to. He's been watching. I forgot. He did a Twitter post, X post, and anyway, and I forgot what he said he watched. Was it Star Wars Skeleton Crew? Yeah, I think it was. Yes, he's watched that. But which I did, but I haven't done my review yet. Right, Windgrace says I'm TOYG Pro. You get a membership. Well, 5 people do. Right, let's get on with Season 2 of TNG. Obviously most famous for being the season without Dr. Crusher, because apparently Maurice Hurley, or Maurice, however you pronounce it in America, Hurley, didn't like her for some reason. I don't know the details, but she was basically fired. And they got Catherine Pulaski played by Diana Muldaur, who previously appeared twice in the original series, playing different characters. But now she was Dr. Catherine Pulaski, and a damn fine doctor she is too. And also, this season marks the arrival of 10 Forward and Guinan. And in this season, it tells us that Captain Picard didn't know Guinan before she came on board. But then they kind of forget about that later, don't they? And they turn out they're old friends. Don't get it. But anyway, we'll get to that. Right, so we're 22 episodes of this blooming season to get through, so let's get on with it, shall we? So we begin with episode 1 of season 2, which is called The Child. I suppose I better add it to the screen, hadn't I? Hang on, let's go full screen. Right, here we go. There it is. So we begin. The Child. Well, time changed in yesterday's Enterprise, so blame that. Yeah, but I think before that they'd said, hadn't they, that their relationship was beyond family and all that stuff, wasn't it? But anyway, whatever. Right, we begin with The Child. This was an episode that was supposed to be for Star Trek Phase 2, like an original series Phase 2 episode. Which it kind of feels like one, to be honest. Because it's about, a non-corporeal life form. But in Phase 2, it's supposed to be Ilea that became pregnant with this child, this alien child, but in this one it's Deanna Troi. So it's a Deanna Troi episode, which is probably why it's crap. I don't like this episode. But anyway, so here we go. There's the I can't remember the name, which ship it is. I can't remember. It'll probably tell us, won't it? Is it going to tell us? Did it have put subtitles on? Hang on, where are we? Which is the subtitle button? Is it that one? Oh, yes, they're on. By the way, apparently the budget had gone up for season 2. I don't know by how much, but they had a bigger budget. I don't know if that translated to the screen. Come on, show us some bloody subtitles. Oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, Dr. Pulaski's coming on board from this other ship, but she won't beam over because she's like, Dr. McCoy, why has that gone off? Don't know. Is it playing? It's not playing. It's not showing it, is it? Have I done something wrong? I think I might have done something wrong. Yes, I have. Right, bear with me. I shall remove it and share the screen again. I've got to do it a different way, haven't I? I can't just share the screen. I've got to share. Is it the Chrome tab or the window? I think it's the Chrome tab. So we'll do that. Netflix. Because we're watching it through Netflix. Right, we'll try this again. Right, we're off again. By the way, Windgrace also says this story is also Avengers number 200 in 1980. All right, as in the Marvel Avengers, them. Did they do a similar tale? Anyway. Right, so we begin again. Dr. Pulaski's coming aboard. Hang on. There we go. So this must be the other ship. Or the other shuttle. The shuttle from the other ship's leaving. Does it tell us what it is? I can't make it out, but it's NCC 2544. Shall I type it in and see what that is? Because I can't remember which one it is. It's the USS Repulse. There we go. She went back to that, I think. She went back to the USS Repulse after season 2, apparently, in books and stuff. But anyway, so she's been transferred over by shuttle because she's like Dr. McCoy, she doesn't like the transporter. Anyway, so there we go. Oh my, Riker's got his beard. They're still sporting the season 1 uniforms, but Riker's beard has arrived in full force. And I don't think it's soon grown it because it's not that long after the events of season 1. I don't know how much time's passed, but it's really maybe in the 24th century they can stimulate the follicles for rapid beard growth. I don't know, but anyway, basically the gist is here it is. Here's the life form that's found its way into the Enterprise, and it goes into the credits. It goes into Deanna Troi, makes her pregnant. I'm not gonna dilly dally on this episode. There she is. Look, she's looking sad because she's preggers. Dr. Pulaski's kind of just getting on with her job. She hasn't introduced herself to the captain and anything, but there you go, introducing now. But suddenly, they got this problem. She's pregnant. Don't know how it happened. There we go, and it grows really fast. And then she ends up having a baby. She's going to have a baby. Sorry, that's a young one's thing. But anyway, she has a little boy, and she calls him something. Can't remember what she calls him. I think his name's after the dad, I think. Whose name I can't remember. But why aren't you showing the subtitles? I don't know why, but anyway. You're gonna somebody speak. When you're wanting subtitles to go on, they never bloody speak, do they? Ah, there we go. I want to know what she calls the baby. By the way, ugly baby. I think most babies are ugly. Aidan, when he was born, my son, what an astonishingly good-looking baby. He was. But she's had an ugly baby there with fish lips. Come on, tell us his name. Oh, it popped in my head then. Never mind. Come on, bloody hell. Right, come on. She gives him a double-barrel name, doesn't she? But I can't remember what it is. She's not going to say it, is she? She's not going to say it. By the way, she had an easy birth. Is that because it's an alien or because Troy's birth canal's massive? Don't know, but anyway. Come on, tell us his name. Windgrace is itching to type it in. Oh, for God's sake, it don't matter. I don't care. She names him something. Ebenezer, because it's Christmas. Fred. Anyway, so the baby grows up. There we go. Suddenly he's a kid, and then something to do with this alien baby kid, whatever now. Andrew, Ian Andrew, something like that, isn't it? Something like that. Is affecting the ship, and the ship will be destroyed. So basically, meet Guinan as well. Blah blah blah. Whoopi Goldberg, the insane Whoopi Goldberg. Did I get it? Yes, you got it. See, that's from memory. Suddenly, my memory started working. Right, so anyway, the baby is it? Was this the one with the tap? No, that's a different one, isn't it? Anyway, he dies. Does the kid, and there we go. They can't save him, and he dies. So she's all upset, obviously, and the ship's saved. And on to the next episode. It's crap. I don't like this episode. It's a terrible season opener. But there were a writer's strike. So they had to basically just find an episode from somewhere, and they used an old one. Surely there were better ones. Why couldn't they have done Devil's Due? That'd have been a good season opener. Maybe they couldn't. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't. Maybe there were too many effects in it or whatever. I don't know. But why couldn't they have done that one? But this wouldn't have got me hooked. If this were my first episode of Star Trek, it wouldn't have got me hooked. But anyway, so off they go. They move on. Engage. Engage your beard, Commander Riker. So there we go. So that's the end of the chat. Not a very good episode. I don't like it. But then again, I'm not a fan of Deanna Troi, or particularly Marina Sirtis. I'm not a fan of her. But anyway, right, moving on. Next episode is Where Silence Has Lease. Now, I do like this episode. This could be one of my favourite episodes of Star Trek, to be honest. This is where they come across Nagilum. Is that how you pronounce it? Or Nagilum? I don't know how you pronounce it. But they encounter. By the way, that's Worf on the holodeck having fun. Do you like any Stargate? Not particularly. I think she's rubbish. She's good at accents, I suppose. I like her SG episode better than most Troy. Well, yeah, there is that. But I don't know. I think it's just I just don't like Marina Sirtis. I'm not a Marina Sirtis fan. But anyway, whatever. Worf doing his calisthenics. Worf's calisthenics on the holodeck. And is this where we meet the? Let's have a look. The whatchamacallit? Skeletor mask. Can I do it with this? Oh, I can do 10 seconds with this, can't I? Is it? Yes, this is the Skeletor mask. I don't know how they managed to use that. Apparently, this is the Skeletor mask from Masters of the Universe that they use in this. But obviously, it's not landing on it because it never bloody does it? You know, when you're trying to skip. Shows it from the front. Oh, whatever. And obviously adjusted it slightly. But why did they use the Skeletor? Didn't they have any other skull masks? I don't know. Who Tom Paris also fought. It must be a holodeck. What do they call it? Like a standard holodeck baddie, easily programmable. But I don't know why they used the one from Master of the Universe. Didn't they have any others? And you'd have thought Master of the Universe, wasn't that an MGM film? So you wouldn't have thought Paramount had been able to use it, but they did. They did. Anyway, so where were we? So he's doing his. That's all that going on. I forgot what I'm doing. Oh, where Silence Has Lease. Yeah, I forgot what episode I were on for a minute then. I just meant Robert was in Master of the Universe. Oh, I was, wasn't he? Yes, he was. Yes, Robert Duncan McNeil. Yes, he was. He was. Right, fair enough. I thought you meant he used it in Voyager, because I can't bloody remember. Minutia. Anyway, there we go. They come across that it's like a black hole in space. Not a black hole, but you know what I mean. Like a dark nebula of some sort. And then suddenly they end up within it. And it turns out, the upshot of it is, it's like a laboratory, an alien laboratory. And they're being tested by Nagilum, and we see him on screen in a bit. But they're being tested. The openings keep opening for them to get out. And they go towards it, and then it closes, and then another one opens. They go towards it, it closes. So obviously, it's testing them. It's like rats in a maze. They also see the USS Yamato, which is their sister ship, another Galaxy-class ship. Again, I've said it before. I'm sure I've seen somewhere. I don't know where I've seen it, that the Yamato was the Federation flagship. And when it was destroyed, the Enterprise was upgraded to the Federation flagship. But I'm sure I've seen that somewhere before, but they don't say it. So I wonder if it was mentioned. I don't know if I saw it in a book, or I've seen it somewhere, but I don't know where. But they don't say it in this, unless they said it in the original broadcast episode. I've no idea. But anyway, or maybe I just dreamt it. That's more likely, isn't it? They see that anyway, and also I think a Romulan bird of prey appears and disappears, and but they're gonna go over to the Yamato in a minute. If it's gonna show us. Here we go. The beam over to the Yamato, obviously using the same sets, and there's nobody on board, and they say that the scan, and they say it's not. Yes, I know it. Yeah, yes, it was the flagship of the Imperial Japanese Navy. Yes, but I'm sure I've read somewhere that it was the flagship of the Federation before the Enterprise. But anyway, Worf gets angry because they go to the bridge and they open the doors to the turbolift doors, and there we go. They see two bridges, and Worf gets angry. There's only one bridge. Actually, there's a battle bridge as well, Worf. You forgot about that, but never mind. Anyway, they come back over. The Yamato disappears, and then an opening appears, and then we meet Nagilum, whatever the bloody Nagila. He appears. The voice of Earl Bowen. Stop playing. There we go. So I'll get into trouble. The voice of Earl Bowen. See if we can land on him. There he is. He's appeared. It doesn't look like that normally. The character. He says, I'm trying to look like you. Well, you haven't done a very good job, mate. But tonight it's some sort of alien scientist, and he's testing them, and he kills one of the crew. Then he says, they'll do some more experiments, and he'll kill more of the crew, and all that stuff. But then by the end of it, he decides, fair enough, I won't bother. I think they threaten to blow up the ship. Yeah, they do. They threaten to blow up the ship. They do the destruct sequence 1, but they don't say code 1A. And so he sets them free, but Picard's not sure if it's another ruse because he's been, teasing him. So he just leaves it till the very last minute, to disarm the self-destruct. And I think is this the one with? Yes, absolutely. Oh, yes, it is. It's the wholeheartedly cancel the self-destruct as Riker. It says, a yes would have sufficed, number 1. But anyway, but there we go. So off they go. Off they go on another adventure after this. But I like Where Silence Has Lease. It's one of my favourite episodes. It's cool because it's it's proper stakes. An alien life form that probably non-corporeal again, because that's all bloody Gene Roddenberry knows how to write for, doesn't it? But never mind. And we never see him again, do we? I don't think we do. Probably in books and novels or comics or whatever. I don't know, but we never hear from Nagilum again, or Nagilum, or whatever the hell he's called. I can't remember. But yeah, that's a good one. Right, next. Episode 3. Elementary Dear Data. Another good one. I like this one as well, where we first meet Moriarty, the hologram Moriarty. Wingate says, I like this and the pseudo rehash in Voyager. It's about Where Silence Has Lease. Well, they kind of did that in Voyager. They did that where they were like the not the Organians. Obviously the Organians. Oh no, I'm thinking of Enterprise. I'm thinking of Enterprise, aren't I? I can't remember. Anyway, whatever. Right, moving on. Elementary Dear Data. This is one where Data and Geordi go onto the holodeck to do some not Shakespeare, Sherlock Holmes. But before that, apparently they're on for a rendezvous with the USS Victory, which were Geordi's old ship before he went to the Enterprise. And so he's building this model of the HMS Victory. I presume it's the HMS Victory. I think the one Nelson was on at the Battle of Trafalgar. But anyway, there he is. That's for the captain. His gift for the captain of the Victory. But they've got time, so they decide to go to the holodeck and do Sherlock Holmes. Watson, the game is afoot. And Josh Temple's here. Yay! Sorry for being late. No worries, mate. No worries. Anyway, Geordi gets a bit miffed because Data just keeps solving the mysteries straight away, because obviously he knows all of the works of Arthur Conan Doyle, so he knows all what's going to happen. So he just solves the mysteries instantly. So Geordi gets the hump, and so they go to the 10 forward, and Dr. Pulaski says Data wouldn't be able to solve a proper mystery, one that he doesn't know the outcome of, because it's beyond him. For some reason, she's some sort of android phobe. But anyway. So they go back to the holodeck. She decides to go with them. There she is, all dressed up. And he goes to the computer and he says, give us... at first they go in, it says, it solves it again. It says use a randomize the mystery using Arthur Conan Doyle's templates and all that stuff. Yes, she's anti-droidite. But even that's not good enough, so she says fraud. So they go back outside, and Geordi says, computer, create an opponent that can defeat Data, and that's when all the problems start. So there must be some other setting is done, an override or something, I don't know, but anyway, that's basically ChatGPT, essentially, yes. Kill all sentient robots, because Josh Temple's from the Dune universe. No thinking machines. Anyway, so this is where the computer gives Moriarty essentially, sentience. So he realises what's going on. He realises he's a hologram and he's not really Moriarty, and that Data is not really Sherlock Holmes. So anyway, he kidnaps Dr. Pulaski and feeds her crumpets and tea because he's English. Even though Daniel Davis, that plays Moriarty, isn't English, but he does a decent English accent. And he would return in season 4, 5, I can't remember, in a future season, again as Moriarty, and then again sort of in Star Trek Picard season 3, but not really. The actor reappears as Moriarty, but not the same Moriarty. Anyway, so somehow he's got control of the Enterprise as Moriarty. Some people have said this shouldn't be able to happen. They've left the holodeck with a drawing that Moriarty did. Is he going to show us? He's done a drawing of the Enterprise, whatever, and he gave it to them, and they've left the holodeck with it. But I think you can sometimes take things off the holodeck, because the holodeck, it's not just holograms, it's also replicated matter. So essentially it can create things, simple things like sheets of paper and stuff like that you could probably take from the holodeck. So like that, but not like living, not characters. Characters can't leave the holodeck, because I think they're too complicated, aren't they, to create as a solid thing. But anyway, Wingrace says the one part of this episode that always confused me. Oh, there we go. There's when he has a drawing with Enterprise D, but still thinks it's a sailing ship. Oh, yes. He does say that, doesn't he? He says it does say it's like it sails through the stars, but he kind of still thinks maybe he's just thinking. I don't know, but he does seem to suggest that, doesn't he? But he does seem to realise that it isn't a sailing ship, but it does. I don't know, unless he comes to that conclusion. But anyway, so he's got control of the Enterprise. He's got a big lever that he keeps pulling, and it makes the Enterprise shake. So we like that, and. So Picard has to go in and save Dr. Pulaski, who is holding hostage. And the upshot of it is he promises to try and work out how to get him off the holodeck. So we can't do it now, but if we save your program, I'll put our top men on it, and we'll try and find a way to get you to come off the holodeck. And obviously he doesn't. And apparently he experiences the passage of time. They said you will not feel, there'll be no, you won't experience the passage of time, but apparently he does. So that's why he reappears in a later season. So there we go. And it turns out he's not a baddie at all by the end of this, and he agrees, and everything's lovely. And they carry on and meet the rendezvous with the USS Victory. And there's Picard looking at the model that Geordie made, handmade. Bet he didn't. Bet he didn't. Bet he bought it. Anyway, so there we go. That's Elementary Dear Data. A good episode. I really like that episode. Another one of my favourites. Season 2 is actually really, really good. A lot of good episodes in Season 2. People always say, I said this about Season 1, didn't I? People always say that Seasons 1 and 2 are not good seasons, and it didn't really get good until Season 3, which it did start getting really good in Season 3, but Season 1 and 2 did have some good episodes, and like I said, we're doing well so far. We've had only had one stinker out of the first 3, but anyway, moving on to the next one. The Outrageous O'Connor. I'm not sure if I like this one or not. I didn't used to like it, but then I watched this one and I thought, it's not that bad. But it's Billy Campbell? Is that his name? William O. Campbell is credited as on this. Billy Campbell as Captain O'Connor. I always pronounced it as O'Connor, because that's how it looks, doesn't it? On that, Okona, but it's pronounced O'Connor. Is he Irish? Must be. Anyway, this one is this the one that's a bit like bloody cat is starting, isn't she? What are you doing? Behave yourself. Never mind being gorgeous. That's a bit like Elan of Troyes. Is it this one where the escorting somebody? Oh, and it's also got Terry Hatcher. There she is. There's Terry Hatcher's boobs, and there's Terry Hatcher in a speaking role. I don't know how many episodes she were in, but she's definitely in this one. If she looks at us, there she is. The lovely Terry Hatcher before she became Lois Lane, I think. Yeah, it is, isn't it? She was Lois Lane in the 90s, wasn't she? I think. She's playing, I think, an ensign or something. A transporter person. So, they've found his ship. They've encountered his ship and it's damaged, so they beam him aboard. And he's like this. He's a Han Solo type chap, scallywag, Jack Sparrow type of character. So he's come over with his stuff that he needs fixing for his ship. So. That's it. No, it's not the one. It's not like the Leon of Troyes. I'm thinking of something else. Two other ships arrive from this system, wanting Captain O'Connor because he's done something bad on their planets, but it turns out he hasn't. It's also where Data explores humour, and he goes to the holodeck, and there we go, and tries to become a stand-up comedian, ba-dum-bum, and all that stuff. And he's not very good. Anyway, here we go. Here's one of the other ships that's saying, "I would send us Captain O'Connor now." Was randomly showed up in multiple new tech series for God knows why. Who has? Terry Hatcher? Billy Campbell? I don't know. But anyway. Where were we? Oh, O'Connor. Yes. Oh, yes. Well, we're in Prodigy, weren't we? Yeah. Has he been in Lower Decks as well? I don't know. I can't remember. But I definitely remember him in Prodigy. Where were we? As I say, he's a rogue, and everybody likes him, and all that stuff. And he's got somebody pregnant. They're saying he's accusing him. Hang on. Prodigy Lower Deck. Oh, mentioned in Picard. There we go. Speaking of being mentioned, apparently Pulaski is mentioned in the Voyager finale Endgame. I missed that one, but apparently she is. Anyway, apparently he's got some girl on one of these planets who's the daughter of the leader of the planet. They're saying he's got her pregnant, and it turns out he hasn't. Everything he's done is being honourable, and she's actually pregnant with this lad here. These are two, opposing planets, and it's like Romeo and Juliet and all that stuff. And it turns out that O'Connor, is a good guy, just a bit of a rogue. Princess Leia had liked him. That's Data doing more of his ba-dum-bum. So anyway, they decide, that they come clean and O'Connor's cleared and all that stuff, blah blah blah, and then they've got to work out how to come to terms with it, and it's fair, whatever, fair enough. And they send O'Connor on his way, fix his ship, and off he goes. And Data tells another joke, and that's the end. It's fine. It's an okay episode. A rip-off of the Lower Decks episode of Gods and Angles, to be honest. Yeah, well, a rip-off of... Do you mean that it ripped off this? But it's fine. It's fine. It's a fine episode. It's okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't used to like it, but it must have grown on. Oh, pardon me. It must have grown on me. So it's okay. It's okay. Not the best, but not the worst. Next, episode 5, Loud as a Whisper. Don't like this episode. you know why I don't like this episode? I don't like the fella in it. The I've forgotten his name. The fella that's deaf. He's played by a deaf actor who does sign language. And for some reason, I don't know why, I just find him really creepy. But anyway, sorry, that's my non-linear brain again. Because you exist in all points of time at once, so it must be confusing. Like a wormhole prophet. Anyway, Loud as a Whisper. This is the one. I can't remember the name of the. Let's have a look. Where the hell is it? What's he called? Reaver. There we go. Played by Howie Seago. Best part of this episode is the disintegrations. Like the disruptors or something like that, or whatever. Anyway, so they're going to this planet to pick up this mediator. These two planets have been warring for a gazillion years. So they want the Federation's best negotiator is this Reaver, and so they're going to pick him up. So they've gone to where he lives and beamed down to his planet. They're going to show him. No, we're going to get the credits first. Skip intro. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Right. So, get on with it. So, we're going to meet Reaver. Here he comes. Here he is. I don't know. There's something about him. I don't know. I find him really creepy. I'm sure he's a lovely fella, but just the way he comes across in this episode, I don't like him. Even though he's a goodie and everything and stuff, but there's something about him that just puts me off. Anyway, he can't speak, and he's deaf, so he does sign language later. But before that, he's got what is called his chorus. Here we're going to meet him here. 3 people who translate certain parts of his psyche, passion and logic and all that stuff. And intellect, whatever. And so they speak for him. So there's a lot of he does a lot of this, but they're talking. So we've got we're thinking they're speaking his thoughts, as telepathically linked. Did they agree to this, or did it? It didn't really explain it. How did this come about? Did they just find them and say, "Oh, you can hear my thoughts," and you speak them out loud, or what? Are the slaves? He says that they're family and friends or whatever. They're my friends, but I don't know. There's something weird about it. That's it. I'm not a fan of this episode. Anyway, so they get to the planet. There. That's this chorus. By the way, that is what's his face? I've got it here, haven't I? Randy Oglesby. It's Randy Oglesby, although he's credited as Thomas Oglesby for some reason. He must have changed his name, but it's Randy Oglesby, who we know from Enterprise as Degra, the Zindi, who created the weapon that attacked Earth and stuff. But anyway, that's who that is. Don't know who she is or him. But this is his chorus. What he calls his chorus. Right, so the beam down to the beam over to the Enterprise first. There we go, they're all meeting each other, and he's saying, "Oh, and I can't feel anything from you," and it's like telepathic or whatever. I don't bloody know. Again with the and he's flirting with Deanna, and that's another thing I found really creepy, because, like I say, he's speaking, but he's doing the flirting. But he's going to have dinner with her, and I'm sure that he wants to get down to business, so he sends his fella away. Do they do it? Don't know. Anyway, right, so they beam down to the sets are getting better, I've noticed, in season 2. With season 1, when they beamed down to planets, they were essentially just kind of spruced up versions of like the sets that they had in the original series. They just look like they're on a stage, and they still look like they're on a stage, but at least they look a bit better. We've got some distance. But anyway, So they beam down, and then obviously it all goes wrong. Here we go. These arrive. They look like they're itching for a fight, don't they? But they come down, and there we go. There we go. Windgrace's favourite bit. For some reason, don't know why, they decide to disintegrate the chorus. Cool. Best bit of the episode. Obviously, Reaver's not happy about that. They beam him out. There we go. And it was a mistake. Come back. Whatever. The fella that disintegrated him, I think, I don't know, he got arrested or whatever. I don't know. But Reaver's obviously upset, and I like this bit actually with Picard. Actually, I got a bit of a lip quiver going on with this bit because because obviously he's upset as Reaver. They got better. Yes, they did. Really upset is Reaver because obviously his chorus is gone. He says, they were my friends and all that. And Picard grabs him, calms him down. He says, don't worry, we'll get through this. I'll help you and all that. That's how he speaks. So basically, Data now becomes his chorus through sign language. I was actually giggling. I was actually giggling watching it because he did his sign language or something with Deanna earlier on, and obviously we all know what else to do with Deanna, so I sat going like that and giggling to myself because I'm a child. Anyway, so Data learns. Oh, there we go. Data learns sign language. American Sign Language? Don't know. I bet it is, probably. So that using Data to communicate with him. Geordie is checking his visor. I think she says, you could get optical implants, which he does later, doesn't he? In First Contact, Star Trek First Contact, he gets his optical implants then. So I wonder if she did the operation, because she said she'd done it before, several times. So, but he decides, he's fine with his hair clip. Anyway, the upshot of this is Reaver decides what they've got to do. He's got to beam down and talk to the baddie aliens, and they've got to learn his sign language. And he's going to stay there, teach them his sign language, all the sides of this conflict, and that'll be their thing in common with each other. But anyway, so that's a bit of a forced ending and a bit of a quick. They just leave him there. Right, fair enough, to beam you down in this hostile situation by yourself. I'm sure you'll be fine. We're off to next week's episode now. And that's it. I don't like this episode. Anyway, I think the deleted scene says she did the operation. In First Contact. Maybe the novelisation. All right, cool. I don't know. I haven't seen that deleted scene. I've got obviously First Contact things up there, but anyway, might have been the novelisation. I bet it was. But I haven't read the novelisation of that. Anyway, so there we go. Not a big fan of that episode, to be honest, but the disintegrations were cool, and I did giggle at his sign language because I'm a child. Moving on, next. The Schizoid Man. Not a big fan of this episode either. I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan of it. This is the one with I've got his bloody name now. W. Morgan Shepherd as he's got a face. I can't remember his bloody name now. Talked about him recently as well. Graves, Ira Graves. That's it, Ira Graves. Right, so they're heading to Graves Planet or Graves World or whatever they call it. I thought, don't they have a proper name for this planet? But maybe he's named the planet after himself because he's full of himself. Oh, why? Data's decided to sport a beard to make it look more distinguished. Anyway, so he's ill. His Graves is the top man in robotics or whatever the hell, cybernetics. But he's really ill. So they're heading there because Dr. Pulaski's she's the expert. By the way, she always wears a proper uniform. She's not like Dr. Crusher, who's always wearing other stuff that she wears. Pulaski also, I know Dr. Crusher did wear the uniform underneath her other doctor coat, but Dr. Pulaski didn't seem to wear a doctor coat for some reason. Anyway. Yes, as she doesn't like the transporter. This, because they've got to go somewhere else. I've just remembered. The Enterprise is dropping them off at Graves World, and then buggering off to another planet, or rendezvous with a ship, can't remember, to deal with that. But sending Dr. Selah in her stead, the Vulcan doctor, played by Susie Plaxon, who we see again later on this season as another character. But she appears a couple of times in this season. Yeah. Graves World, party time, excellent. Woo, 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 woo. Oh dear. Anyway, so they're beaming down, and then the Enterprise buggers off to deal with something else and leaves them there for a bit. So they beam down, and they find Dr. Graves. She's gorgeous, this Susie Plaxon, isn't she? And they find she's his assistant, but he's in love with her. It's supposed to be like a father-daughter relationship, but it turns out, he basically is in love with her. And I can see why, because she's quite lovely. Anyway, here he comes, W. Morgan Shepherd. There he is, giving it all. W. Morgan Shepherd. That's what he's like, a pirate, isn't he? That's how he talks. Great actor. Played loads of characters in Star Trek and Babylon 5, and he's been in everything. He was in Star Trek 6. He was in Star Trek 209 as a Vulcan. He's been in everything. Anyway, he's dying. He's got some disease that is going to kill him, and there's no cure, so he's on borrowed time. But it turns out he's found a way to transfer his consciousness into a computer, and that's what he plans to do. But obviously, he sees data and thinks, right, I'm going to... What the hell was that? An insect that just attacked my nose. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. That was weird. Forgot what I want now. Alright, so it puts his consciousness into data. Oh dear. Yeah, weird. I don't know if you saw it. I didn't see anything. I just felt it. Are you going to start? Bloody cat's starting as well now. You want to go out? Maybe it was a ghost getting me. Attacking me nose. Just a minute, I'm going to let the cat out. Just watch him for a minute. Come on, pest. Should put you out first, shouldn't I? Come on. Right, I'm back. I forgot what I was saying now. Yes, he puts his consciousness into data. Is this the episode we find out that Data's got an on-off button? I think. Or did we find out in the previous one? But anyway, find out he's got an off button. Anyway, Graves dies. Quotes. Data lot. With that one. Yes, of course, we found out I had an off button on that, didn't we? Yes, of course. In season 1. Anyway. So Graves dies. There he is in his. They're going to fire him off to the Genesis planet. Looks like it, doesn't it? But obviously, Graves' consciousness is in Data now. So he's been all florid, and it's obviously there's obviously something wrong, and they notice because he's not the same Data, and say something's wrong with Commander Data, and because he gets angry and stuff, and all that jazz. So they know something's up, and they realise that it's Ira Graves that's in there. She realises it, and they decide they finally get. It goes around injuring people. By the way, he hurts. I think he hurts Geordie. Breaks somebody's arm. Or he might break. I think he breaks, his daughter's or whatever. It breaks her hand, and he injures Picard as well. Because obviously Data's super strong, and he keeps having these. He keeps lashing out. So then he realizes he's gonna hurt people, and he doesn't want to, because he's not a bad man. He's just I don't know. What's the word? He's just got a temper, and so what he does, he puts his consciousness into the Enterprise computer, and they never do anything with it again, I don't think. But he puts his consciousness into the computer and restores Data the way he was. So everything's okay. But they say, Ira Graves' consciousness is now in the Enterprise computer, but it's just information, all the personality's gone. But they could have done something with that, couldn't they? Ira Graves could have popped up from time to time in the Enterprise computer, but they never did they? So there we go. So that's the Schizoid Man. It's all right. It's an okay episode. I'm not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. But we got to see Dr. Sellar, which is cool. Every time we get an opportunity to see Susie Plaxton is a good thing. Right, moving on. Episode 7 is Unnatural Selection, which is this one. I can't really remember. Oh dear, let me refresh my memory. I forgot what this one is. USS Lantry. Oh, yes, I remember now. Yes, so this one. This is your favourite. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it's where the another one that's similar to an original series episode. They're getting older, aren't they? These people on this this station. So they've come across the USS Lantry, and they've all died of old age on the USS Lantry. And I think it's a Miranda class ship, I think. Do we see it? Come on, Netflix, sort yourself out. Where is it? Hang on, get past the credits. Din. Here it is. Yeah, it's a Miranda class. Which is cool. Anyway, they've all died of old age. The beam aboard, obviously they must say, everything's okay, but the beam aboard and the finder, they've all died of old age, and the captain, they said, they were only in the 30s and stuff like that, but they've all died of old age. So they head to the last place the Lantry had been at, with this station, was it Gagarin, somewhere or other? Is it that one? Yeah, Gagarin 4. That was the last place they'd been, and they find out that there's they're all aging quickly as well on Gagarin 4, and I don't know if it shows. What are you doing? Bog off, you! There we go. Oh, good job you didn't see that then. A pop-up suddenly appeared. There she is. She's, I'm only 35 or whatever she says, but they're all aging rapidly, and they blame the Lantry, because that was the last ship that had been, and they think it brought something with it, but it's not. The Lantry crew caught the disease from these genetically engineered people that they've made. I thought that wasn't allowed. I thought, Khan and all that, the eugenics wars, I thought it was being banned, genetically engineering people. But that's what they've been up to. Oh, that's what she's been up to. The beam, one of them aboard the Enterprise, and Picard saying, "Oh, what if we all catch the disease?" He says, "Oh, be careful, there'll be a force field and all that stuff." So here we go, they beam him aboard, encased in goo, surrounded by a force field. But then obviously it goes wrong, and they've got to. She's got to do something. End up in a shuttle. She got to do something, but the only way they could do it, separate from the rest of the ship, is if she does it in a shuttle. So Data flies her out in a shuttle. Here we go. By the way, these shuttles, we see these a few times in season 2. Type 7 shuttle, and apparently some of them, the ones in season 2, they say they don't have warp drive, but they've got warp themselves. They're there. They're going to show it light up. No, never mind. But for some reason, season 2 that says they don't have warp drive, but they've got warp themselves, so they must have. But anyway, Type 7 shuttle. We see a few times in season 2. Anyway, so she gets Data, because obviously he'll be immune to any diseases, so she can check out this genetically engineered chap. There he is, they beam him aboard. Oh, there's Chief O'Brien. He appears quite a lot in this season. This Chief O'Brien. That's good. She takes off the goo, and then instantly catches the disease. So she starts aging. Anyway, so there we go. And then I think they put. I can't remember what they've done now. I can't remember how they fix it. Yes, they use the transporter, don't they? I think. Yes, it is. This is one where they use the transporter. There's no cure, but they could use the transporter. Because the transporter, if they've been through a transporter, the transporter has a record of their DNA from before they became infected. So that's what they can use that to filter out the disease. And yes, and because she'd not been through the transporter, they didn't have Pulaski's DNA. So that yes, they find some hair in her quarters and they use that to filter out the disease. So they cure everybody, but I think they've got to be quarantined forever. I think is it that one? Yes, the Enterprise did use the same procedure to restore the station staff, noting that the children will never be able to live with other humans. Yeah, so they basically, they won't. They live a terrible life, and then they go back to the USS Lantry and blow it up. Really close to the Enterprise. Here we go. Something with Star Trek that they always say, it's like they say something like, it's 5,000 kilometres off the port bow, and then it just shows them next to each other, and I think, what's going on? But anyway, never mind. So they blow the bugger up. One single photon torpedo blows up that entire ship. It's got these red lights flashing because it were a quarantine ship, a plague ship, and they just blow it up with a single torpedo. Is it going to show it? In a minute, when they're ready, for God's sake. Go on, do it, number 1. Lieutenant Worf, arm the photon torpedoes. Well, or just one of them. I think it's just one. I thought they were going to salute. Look, it's getting closer, look. Back off a bit. You're going to blow up a starship. Here we go. Pew! There we go. One photon torpedo, and off it goes. Blimey. Bit fragile, aren't they, these Miranda-class ships? Let's make sure we're still going. I've been doing a lot of clips, haven't I? Yeah, we're fine. By the way, I forgot to mention, we're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble, I hope. Is it going to come on? And we're live on Twitch, I think. I think we are. Fingers crossed. Are we live on Rumble? I have no idea. Yes, we are. We are live on Rumble. Right. Wingray says, what do you call a person who really likes torpedoes? Go on. A torpedo file. I don't know. Go on, what do you call a person who really likes torpedoes? As we wait for... something you can't say on... Oh, right. Well, I said that, didn't I? Torpedo file. But I didn't say it. I said torpedo file. Like saying PDF file. You can say that, can't you? As in a file of the PDF variety. Anyway, whatever. Right, so blow that up and everything's lovely and move on to the next. I'm not a big fan of that episode, to be honest. And how are these people at Gagarin 4 got away with genetically engineering people when it's supposedly not allowed anymore? But anyway, whatever. Next up, episode 8, Matter of Honour. Is this the Klingon one or is this a different one? Is it? I can't remember. Is it the Klingon one? Oh no, it's not. It's not the Klingon one, is it? Is it? Oh yes, it is the Klingon one. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. Right. There's a what they call it a crewman exchange going on. So we've got some new people coming aboard the Enterprise, and it's one of these Benzite. Is it Benzite? Can't remember. And he thinks it's Mendoc from the previous season's episode, where he went to his academy test. It's a different one, but they're related or something. But anyway, so he's come on board from the Benzite version of Starfleet, like in an officer exchange. Pardon me. So then Picard has the idea, well, it'd be cool if there's a Klingon ship nearby and we could do an officer exchange with them. And Riker says, well, I'll do it. So he's going to go and be a Klingon officer for a day. So they come with the rendezvous with the Klingon ship, which is I think it's a bird of prey. I think is it? Is it the Pa? I think it's the Pa. Yes, the Pa. So he's going to become first officer of the Pa. I don't know what happens to the. So first of all, watching it, I'm thinking, is this the one where we meet Kern? But it's not. That's a different one, isn't it? Where they do an officer exchange. But so he's going to go be the first officer of the Pa, and so now he's eating some Klingon delicacies like gach and all that. But it's not a live gach. But he's tucking in and enjoying it. So off he goes. Going to beam over. I'm seeing if we can see the ship. I think it's a bird of prey. I don't know if it shows us it from the outside. It must do. It must do. There it is. There it is. We're going to show it. Anyway, whatever he's called, because I've forgotten already. Mendon. He notices that on the Pa, there's something. There we go. There's something growing on the hull. There we go. A weird life form. Come on, land on it. There we go. Don't know what class of bird of prey it is. Is it a cavort or a burrell? Don't know. But it's got something growing on its hull. Don't know what it is. I don't know if it says how it got there. But it got onto the Pa's hull, and it's now gone onto the Enterprise's hull. It's basically eating through the hull. That's what it's doing. Anyway, so Riker's having a whale of a time on the Klingon ship. Captain doesn't like him. He beats up an officer because that's how it is on Klingon ships. So they're all fighting and stuff, and it's all cool and lovely. A Klingon lady, she wants him. Riker, that is. More fun and games there, and he gets their respect. And here's I can't remember the character's name, but it's played by. Oh, for God's sake, me and bloody name! Stop playing. Brian Thompson, as Clag. Clag. Brian Thompson, who were in Enterprise. It's probably been in other Star Trek episodes as well, but he were in Enterprise as the Romulan Admiral in that three-parter about the Interstellar Alliance, the foundations for the Federation, when the Romulans had that holograph ship. That he were in that. It's been in loads of other stuff as well. But he becomes Riker's friend, even though Riker beats him up at the beginning, but he becomes his friend. And they all respect him because, he's a good officer, is Riker, and he respects Klingon tradition and all that stuff. But the captain's he's a knobhead, because he's a Klingon captain. He just wants to attack the Enterprise, so because he thinks they've done something to his ship, there's that thing growing on it. He thinks the Enterprise put it there, probably they didn't. But the Enterprise works out how to get rid of it. So they go to the PA and they tell them how to fix it, but he just wants to attack the Enterprise. So Riker beams the captain over to the Enterprise and takes command and says, I'm in command, blah, blah, blah. Stand down and all that. So basically Picard surrenders to him. But then they beam the captain back over and the captain gives him a punch in the face. There we go. And so there we go. Says, so there they're fixing it. And he comes back and he says to Worf, your people are honourable and all that stuff. But there we go. So a good Klingon episode. Like I said, one of the early episodes. We hadn't seen many Klingons in Star Trek. We started seeing more of them after this. Like I said, we saw one in season 1, didn't we? Where they found them Klingons. One of them died. And this is another one. So they're filling out the Klingon lore now. Right, so next up, this one's, a lot of people say this is the best ever episode of Star Trek. I don't agree. It's a good episode, but I don't think it's the best ever. It's Measure of a Man. The Measure of a Man. This is the one with Data and Commander. What's his face? My bloody memory. Commander Thingamabob. Just bear with me. Bruce Maddox. It came to me before I had to check. Bruce Maddox. Commander Bruce Maddox. So basically wants to dismantle Data so he can make more of them. Yes. This is a good episode, but it wouldn't make my top list. I think is that, to be honest. TBH. No, it won't make mine either. Well, it didn't, did it? But I don't think it did. I can't remember what were in my top 10. But it is a good episode, but I don't think it's the best. Anyway, so Bruce Maddox wants to dismantle Data so he can make more of them. Obviously, Data doesn't want to be dismantled because it could mean the end of Data, so to speak. But because Bruce Maddox just thinks of Data as an it, he keeps calling him it, which is probably accurate, I suppose, because he's an android, isn't he? But keeps calling it it. And we also meet her, who's the judge advocate, she's Captain something or other. Philippa? No. Philippa. Philippa Louvois, yes. I can remember something. Who's an old flame of Picard's. But now she's the Judge Advocate General in some far-flung corner of the Federation. But he wants to dismantle Data so they can make more of them. So imagine a Data android on every Starfleet ship and all that. But Data doesn't want to do it, and even thinks of resigning from Starfleet. By the way, they're not at regular one; they're at a regular style space station. So he's not going to do it. His Data, but then she rules, because she's the legal person, that Data is the property of Starfleet and he can't refuse the procedure. So Picard files a protest, and so it's going to go to a tribunal, and this is where they go to the court. It becomes a courtroom drama, and Data has to, Picard has to prove that Data, is sentient and can make his own choices, and Riker, being the next highest ranking officer, is forced essentially to be the prosecution, and he's got to essentially prove that Data isn't a life form and sentient and can't make his own choices, which he does, and he hates it. He hates his job. There we go. He's showing that Data's super strong. Picard says, "Well, we've known other aliens that have super strength," but he takes off Data's arm and shows it to Philippa. Anyway. He's talking to Guinan. I can't remember what she says. She probably gives him some pearls of wisdom. Anyway. Right, so... And this is where he does his speech, does Picard. And he does his... our mission is to go out and find new life. Well, there it sits. And all that. It's that one. And she finds in favour of Data. She said, "Is Data the property of Starfleet? No. Is he alive? I don't know." And she says, but she rules that he does have the choice. He has the awareness to make the choice for himself. So she rules that, and Data goes up to Commander Maddox and says, like that, right in his face. Gives him. I'm lying, but it says, I choose not to go through with the procedure. And he says, "Oh, he's an extraordinary man." He says, "Oh, he's not an it anymore." No, whatever. And then Bruce Maddox gets murdered in season 1 of Star Trek Picard, but never mind. But there we go. It's a cool episode, and he does. He keeps it becomes his pen pal, doesn't he? 'Cause particularly in Data's day, we learn that his writing. He's still in communication with Commander Maddox. Still in communication with him, and yes, it was a different actor, so it doesn't count. It's probably a different Bruce Maddox. Yeah, same with Icheb. I was called it Icheb, but it's Icheb, isn't it? Yes, it was a different one, him as well. And Trip's not dead either. So they did keep in contact with him, because we're learning Data's day in a future season that he talked to him. But anyway, it's a good episode. It's not the best. I don't think it is. There's a regular one. Look at the size of it. There's Enterprise there in front of it. And what's that? Is that a telescope? It must be. But what's this bit for here? Is that a hangar? Can a spaceship fly into there? I've no idea. But I know that it's the space station from Star Trek the Motion Picture just turned upside down. But anyway, yeah, it's a good episode, and it's we get to see Picard doing a cool speech. Well, there it sits, and all that. So there we go. So that's Measure of a Man. It is good. Next up, don't like this episode because it's Pooh the Dauphin. This is the one where they're ferrying a young woman who's going to become the leader of her planet. They're taking her home, to her home, but she's been raised on this other planet that it's got a really horrible atmosphere, and how could human life survive, or humanoid life survive? I don't like that in Star Trek they use that phrase a lot, humanoid. Even aliens use it. And I'm like, why? Why don't you say biped or something like that instead of humanoid? But anyway, whatever. I don't know how they survived, and it turns out that they don't look like that normally. They're another one of these, I suppose, non-corporeal life forms or whatever. But anyway, she comes aboard, and obviously Wesley falls in love with her instantly. But we learn that hang on, is it going to show it? That her nanny, I suppose, I don't know, escort, whatever, can change shape. Oh, there she is. Because we see her as her, and I know her name, and I forgot what she's called. She's been in quite a few things. Quite a famous actress, isn't she? And I've forgotten. Was she in Sleepwalkers? Is it her that were in Sleepwalkers? Yeah, Mad Chick. Is it her? Mad Chick Amick. Yes, it is. What have I seen her in? Twin Peaks, and what else? Yes, Sleepwalkers. He were in that as well. That's where I know her from. But it's been loads of stuff. Right. Madchen Amick. Wingrace says, humanoid, they refer to things as earthquakes and other worlds. Well, that's true as well. Super ethnocentric, to be honest. It's because the Federation is a humans only club, isn't it? even the word is racist. Anyway, this is her I forgot what I call it now. Not a nanny, an escort, whatever. In another form, she can change forms. Anyway, it's a crap episode. She turns into monsters and stuff, and solar flare. Yes, okay. They say solar systems and stuff, don't they? But there's only one solar system, which is ours. But anyway. This is the one where he goes for advice, does Wesley to Commander Riker, about talking to girls. So this is where he talks to him and Guinan. He uses his stick on Guinan, and she's obviously falling for him. Whatever. And Wesley says, and says, shut up, kid. It's, hilarious. Anyway. So he's falling in love with her, but then we learn that, here we go, turns into an alien. I don't know, rubbish alien. It's a bloody man in a bloody monkey suit, isn't it? It's like somebody say on Space 1999, Season 2 of Space 1999, isn't it? And she soon quickly beats up Worf. Let's turn back and you're just going to belt her. Ooh. But at the end, he says, you were a formidable opponent, because it's all fine by the end, and we learn that she can change shape as well. We end up with two monsters fighting each other in a minute, or, nearly fighting. Is it going to show it? Here we go. Because she can change as well. Oh, she's changed back there. Well, that a CG morph. It could have been, couldn't it? So it's probably really early. So this be 1988. So we'd had seen them before, hadn't we? Yeah. Because I think Willow were 86, so we saw them in that, didn't we? So wow, a ring light. I wasn't paying attention. I've got one there. Look. Did they have one in here? I wasn't looking. I'm on this now. There we go. So I'm trying to see if I can land on it again now. I missed it. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, I say still in love with it until she changes into a monster, and then he don't want to know. He doesn't want to know after that. So they arrive at where they're supposed to go, and they're going to beam her down. There we go. And Wesley's going to talk to her. And says, you're not human, so I don't fancy you anymore. But she's like saying, but I love you, Wesley, and I don't care, bugger off. Then changes his mind, gives her something as a keepsake, and then she shows him what she really looks like. There we go. She's like, I don't know. Needs to go to the loo, doesn't she? She's standing like. It was right before she marked, was it? I missed it. Never mind. She looks like I don't know, a fluffy, fuzzy, glowy thing that's got its legs crossed because she needs a wee. I don't know, but anyway. So there we go. So he didn't get the girl. He got the alien thing, whatever, and yeah, whatever. Crap episode. I hate that episode. Awful, terrible. It might be my least favourite Star Trek episode. I've probably said that about one in season 1 as well, but I don't know. I think that episode is rubbish. Captain. Shush, I thought I'd muted it. Right, next up, Contagion. Oh, this is back with the Yamato again. I do like this one. This is a good episode. They're answering a distress call from the USS Yamato, which is in the neutral zone, the Romulan neutral zone, because the Klingon one doesn't exist anymore. The Romulan neutral zone. So we get information about the Yamato, the Captain Donald Varley, and all that. And it's a Galaxy class ship. There it is. Looks a bit different as the bridge. Looks a bit cluttered, doesn't it? But anyway, whatever. Worse than Shades of Grey, which we're going to get to, aren't we? We're going to get to Shades of Grey. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind Shades of Grey, even though it's a clip show, but whatever. Right, so the Yamato's been experiencing technical malfunctions and stuff, and they don't know why. And he thinks it's a design flaw. He says, they should have run these Galaxy-class ships over a few more drawing boards before they put them into service. But anyway, they go and rendezvous with them. Yes, I forgot about that. Have I gone too far? There we go. And the rendezvous with them. And then the Yamato blows up. It explodes. And it's like, no. So, who'd have thought it, eh? Over 1,000 people dead. And that's Donald Varley's fault, the captain, because Picard says, do you want to evacuate your people to the Enterprise? And he says, oh, no, it won't come to that. And then about 30 seconds later, the ship explodes. Anyway, so the Yamato's blown up. But then the Enterprise starts experiencing similar malfunctions because they had accessed the Yamato's, logs and stuff, database, whatever. So it essentially transferred the computer virus, what it boils down to, over to the Enterprise. So the Enterprise starts experiencing the same sort of malfunctions, but they're taking longer because it's come onto the ship through a different way. Right, so they find out that what's happened. The Yamato found a probe from the Iconians, an Iconian probe, and it scanned it, and that's how the Iconian probe scanned the Yamato, and that's how it infected its computer systems, but not on purpose. It wasn't a belligerent act. It turns out it's like two incompatible computer systems trying to work each other out, and it all going wrong. A bit like in Independence Day, when Jeff Goldblum infects the alien mothership. So they probably got the idea from this, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so he's checking the logs, and so he's gonna go find the Iconian world where this is all going on, where it originated. Wesley's worrying about the Yamato. He says, 1,000 people dead. He says, yeah, it's sad, isn't it? Anyway, they get to the planet that's deep in the neutral zone, and a Romulan ship arrives as well. They see that Iconia has been destroyed by an orbital bombardment, and there's just like one building left with a power source. So they're going to beam down. I think Picard decides he's going to go. See, everything's all going wrong, and for some reason, she's shouting and bawling at this poor, I presume it's a doctor or a nurse or whatever, but she's playing number with him. Trauma teams are being run ragged trying to respond. I thought, what she's telling him for? But because there's all these malfunctions are going on, and then there's this other fella here. Who she said, the bone knitter's not working anymore. And he says, well, use a splint. And he goes, a splint? What's one of those? And he says, 2 pieces of wood or plastic. It'll hold the bone in place. He says, that's not practicing medicine. She says, yes, it is. Get on with it. They should have Dr. Ta'ana aboard, shouldn't they? She'd sort them out. Geordie got injured by something from the computer, and Data threw him out of the way. Anyway, so here we go. The Romulans arrive. I think Picard's beamed down. There he is. He's going now because he's an expert. Is this where we learn of his love of archaeology? Is this the first episode? Probably not. But there he goes, beaming down with Data and Worf. The Romulans arrive. She looks familiar. I'm sure I've seen her in something else. Maybe who is she? She looks really familiar. Right, I'm going to look her up, see if it tells her who it is. Contagion. It probably isn't. Is it her? Don't know. Is she Williams? Dana Sparks. So let's look up Dana Sparks, see if it looks like her. I don't know the name. It just looks really familiar. Oh, it is her, yeah. I think. Yes, it is her. What's she been in? Let's have a look. IMDb. There we go. She got an IMDb. There it is. No, not your biography, just you. What you been in, Dana? Started the Next Generation. Ensign Williams. What else? Nothing I've seen by the looks of it. Still looks really familiar. Nope. Murder She Wrote. She were in Falcon Crest. It's the only 2 things in this list that I've... Oh, she was in Baywatch as well. She must have one of those faces. Anywho, she looks very similar to another woman who dies in Star Trek. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know who you mean though. Anyway, the Romulan ship that starts having malfunctions as well, and I can't remember why. Is it because they scanned the Enterprise? Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. And the probe comes up from the planet and tells the Romulans to destroy the probe. Oh, aye, it's what's her face? It's going to show her. The Romulan commander is played by Carolyn Seymour. Not going to show it. Never mind. Oh, there's the Iconium probe that they tell them to destroy, which they do, like that. It says if you have phasers, destroy it. And I thought, shouldn't you know that they have disruptors? They don't have phasers, they have disruptors, don't they? But anyway, never mind. But anyway, the Romulan captain is played by Carolyn Seymour. Oh, we see... there she is. Obviously, it won't land on her if I do this. Look, it's stupid. There she is. But she's not playing the same Romulan commander that we see in the episode The Face of the Enemy, because she plays a Romulan commander in that as well. But a different one. I think so, anyway. I think it's a different one. Let's have a look. It's Commander Taris. So, who did she play in... I don't think it was Taris in Face of the Enemy. But let's see. Windgrace is telling me now. Probably. Toreth. Played Toreth. Why don't they just make her the same character? They could have done, couldn't they? Anyway, whatever. Maybe they didn't want to use... Maybe it's one of those things, like with the Vulcan from Lower Decks. They didn't have to pay that writer for using his name or whatever in Voyager. But anyway. Still wish she was the one who came back for Nemesis. Instead of... I forgot her bloody name now. Where they were in Starship Troopers. Dina Meyer. Instead of Dina Meyer. Meyer, how do you pronounce it? It'd have been cool, that, wouldn't it? Yes, it'd have been cool, that. Because I like Caroline Seymour. She plays a good... I don't know. Whatever she's in, she's good. It's Caroline Seymour. Anyway. Meanwhile, so the work out how to fix the Enterprise. I think they basically just turn everything off and turn it back on again. I think, and that's what it boils down to. But the work out down on Iconia, the work out the portals. They open. It's not landing on it, is it? I believe that it was. Yes, I know, but it's not showing us. Show us the bloody portals, for Christ. Show us the portals. Anyway, whatever. But the Iconians were said in legend, just their armies appeared out of nowhere and all that stuff. And, there were demons of the air and whatever they were called. But it turns out, apparently, they weren't like that. And the people that they travelled to see were scared of them, so they mustered up a space force and destroyed the Iconians for whatever reason. But anyway, they find a portal and they get it going, and it must cycle through. I don't know. Is it going to show it now? There we go. It seems to cycle through. It's a bit like Guardian of Forever. It cycles through locations, and there goes the bridge of the Enterprise. Then you also see the bridge of the Romulan ship, and then other places as well. So the work, that's how they can get back to the Enterprise, and then Data gets zapped, and so they decide. There's another planet. So Picard decides they're just gonna destroy it. Nobody else can have it. The Romulans can't have it. We can't have it. This technology must be destroyed. So they're gonna destroy it with photon torpedoes or whatever, or do a self-destruct. I can't remember. Something like that. Forgotten. Which one is it? Yes, they do like self-destruct, don't they? Yes, do a self-destruct. Data tells him how to do it. So they beam up, or does he take him through the portal? Can't remember. Yeah, it takes Data through the portal to the Enterprise bridge, and there he goes. And Picard sets the self-destruct, and then he just in time, before it blows up, he steps through the portal onto the Romulan ship, and then they're going to shoot him. But they beam him out just in time. In a minute. Oh, whatever. There we go. They're gonna. I think they actually start shooting him. I think. Oh no, they don't. I'm thinking of something else. He says, "You will die with us," and he says, "Oh, not this time," and they beam him out. By the way, that the computer for some reason is not being translated by his universal translator. That's the computer that we're hearing. It's the self-destruct. They can't switch it off. But luckily, the Enterprise tells them how to fix it, and then everything's lovely, and they all fly away. Picard comes back to the ship and he says, "I see why you go on all the missions, number one. That's where all the fun is." And but everything's smashing, and as they fly away, they're heading opposite directions. We see the thing blowing up in like After Effects explosions, like that on the planet. Anyway, and everything's lovely, and I like Contagion. I think it's a cool episode. It's an exciting episode, and it's got the Iconians in who pop up a couple of times. mentioned. We don't actually see them, do we? Do we ever actually see the Iconians? I don't think we do. But it's a good, exciting episode. I think it's a good one. It's one of my favourites of season 2. Right, next up, The Royale. An episode, another one that I didn't used to like, but I didn't mind it this time watching it. So it's a decent episode. It's not too bad. But it's really got original series feel to it, and I wonder if it were original, one of these that was supposedly. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. See if it says. No, it doesn't say. I wonder if it was originally written for like the original series or the Phase 2 or something like that. But it's got an old-fashioned Star Trek-y feel to it. But it doesn't say anything on Wikipedia. I was wondered if it was. Anyway, whatever. Wingre says, I love this episode. It's campy but great. I say it's got a very original series feel to it. Anyway, there we go. The Enterprise arrives at Theta 116 Solar System. Solar System, Winggrace. Tracy Tormey wrote it, but hated how they butchered it and disowned it. Oh no, I think it's a decent episode. I wonder what his original thing was. Anyway, they get a signal from a ship, and I can't remember what it was. They're going to tell us. Bear with me. Does it say what the name of the ship is? Charybdis. It just popped in my head. I didn't see it on there, but it just popped in my head. Or Charybdis. Which one? A 21st century, I think about 21st century ship. How did it get out here? It turns out they're kind of abducted by aliens. But anyway, there's an Earth ship that's crashed or whatever on the planet or in orbit, and they find a bit of it. There we go, and they beam it over, and we see that when he turns it round, when he's ready. Let's have a look then. When you're ready, there we go. It's got a NASA symbol and an American flag. Yeehaw! On it. That's it. The Charybdis was the ship. They don't know how it got there, because obviously, no Earth ship has been out that far. They don't know how it got there. Turns out they were basically abducted by aliens, sort of thing, but the aliens felt sorry. They beam down and they find out that they're in a hotel called the Royale, and then it's like I don't know, the Alex Haley hotel novel. Yes, there was 52 stars on the flag, weren't there? Yes. So what are the other two? Puerto Rico and the UK probably became the 51st and 52nd states, maybe, or Canada. I don't know. Where were we? Yes, the Royale Hotel. It's got things going on in it that's in like a pulpy novel, and it turns out it is. Basically, we've got to solve the book for some reason. I don't really know why. So is it just? So this is from like it's been there for 200 years or whatever. And so all this stuff's going on. These characters, are they just replaying over and over again? I've no idea. But they have a look round and they find there's people playing one-armed bandits and stuff. They find a room and it's got a dead body in it, and it's the captain of the Charybdis. He died of old age in his bed. Worf says, "What a terrible way to die." It's basically a holodeck gone wrong before they did that holodeck trope, essentially. Well, sort of, I suppose, isn't it? But anyway, the aliens felt sorry for what they did, kidnapping people. I don't know, transporting them across the galaxy. I have no idea. But they that created this hotel. He had the book, did the captain. Does it tell us what his name is? I've forgotten his name. Colonel Stephen Ritchie, a NASA astronaut, and they'd taken a book that he had called the Hotel Royale and recreated it. So it was a bit like a piece of the action or that one with the Nazis. It's, you know, the recreated Earth on this planet, but they've used this book as a template of life in this hotel, and it must just keep replaying over and over again the things in the book. I don't know, but anyway, it lived 30 years or something in this hotel and then died, and a living nightmare. But anyway, they can't get out because there's I don't know, there's something jamming the transport. They can't beam them out, so basically they've got to get outside the hotel, where they can beam them out from outside the hotel. But once they're inside, they can't beam them out. So it turns out they've got to essentially finish the book, and that'll let them get out. Why? Dunno. Maybe Tracy Torme's original script explained it, but they don't really in this, do they? So it turns out that they've got to buy the hotel, because in the book, foreign investors buy the hotel, and that's the end. So that's what they've got to do. So they've got to win lots of money, and because it's a casino as well, they've got to win lots of money at the casino. Data's good at craps, throwing dice. Picard looks fed up there, doesn't he? Oh, he's just reading the book, and so that's what they've got to do. So they win, like, I don't know, millions of space books, and buy the hotel. And because they can do that, because they did that, they can leave. Before they couldn't leave. They tried leaving and they just came straight back in. But now they can leave and go outside. And there we go. Oh, we saw it there. The minute. There we go. And they could come back outside into a blank studio through the revolving door. And they can beam up now and everything's fine. Does the hotel continue without them there? I don't know. I've no idea. I don't know. Are the aliens, are the people inside the aliens, or is it a recreation? You know, is it like an alien holodeck, or is it real? I don't know. It doesn't explain any of it. Maybe that's the point. I loved this door effect as a kid. What is that door in the middle of nowhere? But yeah, I suppose maybe that's the point. It's enigmatic, I suppose, or ambiguous. You know, we can't have an explanation for everything. But anyway, they get out and just leave the Hotel Royale and head off for the next adventure. You know, fine, whatever. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but I did quite enjoy the episode, watching it this time, particularly Data doing his gambling. And somehow we can fix dice just with his bare hands. He says, you know, these dice are weighted. So obviously the dice were fixed or whatever so that they wouldn't land on winning throws. So he just does like that and mends them. Don't know how, but anyway. So there we go. So that's the Royale. A fun episode. It's okay. Next up. Stop playing. Times Squared. I don't know. I don't know if I like this one or not. I kind of like it, but don't at the same time. I don't know. It confuses me, I think, because it's timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly and all that stuff. They find a shuttlecraft. There's the Enterprise. Oh, by the way, Riker's making scrambled eggs. He makes a lot of scrambled eggs out of one egg. Winger says this is one of the least interesting time travel ideas to me. Yeah, well, I say it's not the best. It's not the best use of time travel, is it? And the way it's done is bizarre as well. But anyway, he's making here we show him like it's just he's cooking away, just one egg in there, and he makes like loads of scrambled eggs. Everybody gets a plateful of scrambled eggs. And I can't remember. They're alien eggs. They're not regular hen's eggs or whatever. And they all think they taste disgusting, apart from Worf. And he's making them on a hot plate. And this is where we learn. We don't learn actually that Riker didn't really get on with his dad. He had to do all the cooking. And Pulaski doesn't say anything. We'll get to that in a future episode, but she doesn't mention that, because he mentions his dad and all that stuff, and she never says, "Oh, I knew your dad. She nearly married him, for crying out loud." Doesn't bother mentioning it. Doesn't bother. It's explained away in a future episode. It says, "Well, yeah, it never came up." What? Anyway, whatever. He used to make me eggs. Weird. Is that a line? I can't remember. Anyway, Worf thinks they're delicious. They don't like them. Worf thinks they're delicious. So, anyway, right. So, is this where they're going to find the shuttlecraft? Oh, I'm skipping intro. There we go. Din, 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 din. Right, here we go. They encountered the Federation's shuttlecraft. That's what she should have said when Riker said his pops didn't cook for him. Oh, right. She should have said that. "Oh, he used to make me eggs." Weird. All right, I see what you mean. See what you mean. But she wasn't letting on that she knows his dad, which she does later. In another episode that I didn't used to like, but I watched it and quite enjoyed it the other day. Anyway, they found this shuttlecraft. There it is. No, I hate it when it shows it there. Shows it there on my little thumbnail there. You can see. Oh, it's gone off now. But then you click on it, and it doesn't take you to that part of the bloody film. Unbelievable. Anyway, so they're going to tractor beam it on board. So here we go. So go to the shuttle deck, and I like the sound of the door as the shuttle bay doors open, and it shows them tractor beaming it in, which is cool. I don't know if we see that again, but here it comes. Look, it's a little. It's more like a shuttle pod in it than a shuttlecraft. One of the smaller versions of the shuttlecraft that we've seen in it, but like I say, it's more like a shuttle pod. Are they warp nacelles? Look like them, don't they? I don't think that'll go to warp. Anyway, so go down and check it out. And there's the Elbaz, look. Named after Farouk Elbaz, a NASA scientist who helped with the Apollo missions. He used explosives to recreate the surface of the moon, the craters and stuff, for the astronauts to practice in. Anyway, there we go. Oh, they're reading it. USS Enterprise Shuttlecraft 05. They're doing it like really densely, and then look over there. Oh, look, it's just like our shuttlecraft from over there. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, they open it up, and there's a Captain Picard inside, looking weird. He looks kind of a bit different for some reason. Maybe so we can tell the difference. But he looks like, drawn, like a bit like zombie Picard. Anyway, so it says, "Captain, get down here. You should see this." And they never say, they always say, "I think you should see this." And I'll be saying, "Well, what? What am I going to see?" They never say, "Oh, we found another version of you." And then, "Oh, all right, I'll be right down." No, just come and see. I'm not going to tell you. It's a surprise. Tell me. Anyway, whatever. So he comes down and they get him to sick bay. He's alive, by the way, as the other Picard. But something weird about him. They can't access the shuttle controls. They're trying to get power back to the shuttle. But for some reason it won't. And I don't know why. It doesn't really explain this either. I think you should see this. Right there's that'd get me running down. I'd be going, "Come on, Turbo, lift faster. I want to see an Orion slave girl. She might dance for me." Anyway, they can't get the shuttle. The Enterprise power systems are incompatible with this shuttle's power systems for some reason. Turns out it's from it's from the Enterprise, but it's from like 6 hours in the future. So why would that make the power systems incompatible? I have no idea. I don't think it even explains it, but they're not. Anyway, so the Picard that they've got in sick bay from 6 hours in the future is kind of incoherent, and they're saying is not quite aware of his surroundings. I don't know. Is it because of the time travel? Is it just like scrambled his brain or whatever? I've no idea. I don't know. But so they learned that the Enterprise essentially blew up, and it encountered an alien, not an alien, a spatial anomaly, and they've got to work out what to do. They think, hang on, so in 6 hours the Enterprise is going to be destroyed. What should we do? Should we turn back or whatever? But it's one of those, It's a bit like in Cause and Effect. Is it Cause and Effect? Where they know something's going to happen, so they should. No, it's not Cause and Effect. It might be. So should they, do something else, or should they just do what they were normally going to do anyway? It's one of those sort of things. They can't second guess themselves anyway. See, it's not showing it, is it? Go on, show us. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. What it Cause and Effect, yes, fair enough. Another one of my favourite episodes. I love that episode. Anyway, here we go. Here's this like a big, I don't know, whirlpool or something that the Enterprise is being drawn into. They're at full warp, trying to not fall into it, and the other Picard, didn't watched as the Enterprise. I think he left the Enterprise in the shuttlecraft to distract it, so the Enterprise could escape. Because there is some sort of consciousness behind it. I think it says that. I think Troy says there is something about it that's conscious or whatever. I don't know, but he comes round as the other Picard. So lots of split screen stuff going on. Done pretty well, I must admit. He's heading to the shuttle bay. He's gonna get in the shuttle and do what he did before. And our Picard, it's wonder they didn't switch him, innit? They should have done. They should have switched them. And then so our Picard had been the Picard from a bit like they did with Harry Kim. But anyway, whatever. They didn't. So our Picard just shoots him. Says, "I can't allow you to do this again. We'll be stuck in this loop forever." So he just I presume he kills him. I don't know. He just shoots him and he collapses. Maybe he just stunned him. I don't know. But is he dead? Let's have a look. Is she going to say he's dead? No. Is he? Don't know. She's not saying anything. I think he killed him. But he decides basically they've got to just go through it. They've got to head down into the anomaly. There we go. Look at it, all that. Look. Basically fly through it. Instead of trying to avoid it, they've got to just face it head on. And they come out the other side, and everything's fine. And the shuttlecraft disappears, and the other Picard disappears, and everything's lovely. And maybe he's like Teal'c, kill all the alts because only he matters. Or the alternate Teal'cs. Can't remember that one. Anyway. Yeah, so there we go. It's okay. It's a decent episode. Pretty good, to be honest. But not the best use of time travel, and a bit baffling in places. But anyway, moving on. Episode 14. The Icarus. Oh, this is the episode I was on about. I didn't like it as a youth watching this, and I watched it this time, and I quite enjoyed it. This is where we meet Riker's dad. Yes. I thought this was going to be like, when they mentioned this at the beginning, I thought it was going to be like a sequel to Contagion, or there's still after effects from it. I don't know. They're talking about weird readouts. Come on, speak. It says it. En route to Starbase Montgomery. Is that named after Montgomery Scott? Don't know. But it's like an engineering starbase, it seems to be. When Carter and Kowalski come over and Teal'c kills himself, and Jack was like, you were supposed to stun him. Honestly, can't remember that bit. Can't remember that one. Nope. That one has gone out of my memory, as that. Tell you. When you get to my age, it's like every day is a bonus. Anyway, these are en route to Starbase Montgomery. As I said, he's like named after Montgomery Scott, don't know. But here we go. For engineering consultations prompted by minor readout anomalies. All right. There'll be problems with this ship in season 2, aren't there? Shouldn't be having minor readout anomalies. It turns out everything's fine. There's nothing, really up with it. But they're going to have a crew come over from the starbase and give it the ship a good once over. But also, they're going to a specialist is beaming over for them to take somewhere for something or other. I've forgotten why. Just to bear with me. And it's his dad. It's Riker's dad. What's he doing? Where is it? It doesn't say. But anyway, whatever. Yes, and this there's one where they've pulled out the captain's chair for Riker. Is this the first time he's been offered the command of the USS Ares? I don't know what ship the USS Ares is. Is it Excelsior class? Is it another class? I don't know. Does it say? I'm going to check. USS Ares Icarus Factor. Because it was the USS Ares in Axanar, wasn't it? So see if it tells us. Oh, and well, is this the one? There's a USS Ares that's a Renaissance class. Is it this one? Yes, it is. It is this one. So Renaissance class. I have no idea what class that looks like. Let's have a look. See if there's a picture of them. No. I don't know what a Renaissance class looks like. There's no picture on Memory Alpha. But it's on the screen, apparently. Does it tell us here? If I click on this. Well, that's not much good, is it? Can't read it. But, yeah, it's a Renaissance class, whatever they look like. Design your own, Wingrace says. Yes, well, design that one, didn't I? Design that book. The USS Alcide. I forgot what class I made it. Oh, Eboracum class, or Eboracum class. Star Trek Online must have one. Yes, I should have. Star Trek Renaissance class. See if there's a picture. Did I spell it right? Did I? Heck, never mind. Images. Is this the? Oh, there we go. There's some on DeviantArt. They're all roughly look. There must be that. That must be it then. Right, fair enough. Have a look. Try that one. Oh, there we go. I can't share it. I don't think. Just sharing this tab. Right, fair enough. It's yeah. It's a funky little ship, it seems. Oh, quite big. I don't know how big they are. But, hang on, what's that there? Million tons, 19 decks. So it's about the same size then of as a Ish. as a bit bigger in it than Intrepid class, but slower. It's a slow ship. Maximum cruising speed warp 7.3, so it's a slower ship. But it looks a newish. It's got like modern nacelles and stuff like that. It's like intermediate. It's like the nacelles are like in between, like Excelsior class and the ones that we see in the 24th century. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, where were we? So he's been offered this ship, and it's off somewhere off doing its own thing in a dangerous part of space, and he's got to think about, is he going to accept? They all think he's going to accept it, because who wouldn't take their own captaincy? But anyway, his dad's coming aboard for some reason. Can't remember why. It's to do with, yes, I do remember. He's going to brief. There he is. He's going to brief his son on the mission that the Ares is going on. That's what he's doing. He's a specialist, but they haven't spoken for 15 years because his wife, Riker's mother, died, and they didn't get on. He did all the cooking, particularly eggs. And meanwhile, he had a relationship with Pulaski and nearly married her, apparently. But anyway, but they don't get on. Also another subplot. Worf. It's Worf's anniversary of his Ascension Day or something like that. So he's a bit grouchy. Anyway, so they're meeting each other again. There we go, talking and all that jazz. They've got to talk to Worf and find out what's wrong with him, and he's saying "Big on" and all that stuff. And it turns out, so they're going to take him to the holodeck and recreate his Ascension ritual thing, where he's going to get jabbed with pain sticks and all that. So they're going to do that for him. And Riker and his dad have got to learn to get on. Blah blah blah. But they don't really. They just end up fighting in like a gladiators thing. But Worf is going to do his, going to get his pain sticks. He's got to endure the pain, and he thanks them at the end because they're his friends. So anyway, they're going to do this Jubitsu or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. Does it say? Anbo Jutsu. Is that? I'm guessing that's made up. I don't know. But they wear these silly things, and like I say, it's like gladiators. Here they go. Gladiators. So they fight each other. It turns out he cheats. He does moves that aren't allowed, and he says that's how he's beaten him all these years and stuff. And then the kind of, I don't know if he says I'm proud of your son and I love you, and they have a hug, and then it's everything's fine. I don't know, maybe, but yeah. So and then he decides as Riker, I'm not going to take that captaincy. I'd rather stay on the Enterprise. Because Picard does say to him, hang on, it's made up. The pinnacle of martial arts is called. Pinnacle. Gladiators. Picard had earlier said to Riker, at the moment, you're the first officer on the Federation Starfleet's flagship, which, gives him a certain amount of gravitas. You'd think that though, the Federation flagship, you'd think the flagship would have an admiral in charge of it, wouldn't you? They do that on like in modern day navies. Don't they? They have an, I don't know, but whatever. Anyway. And he says, if you take this captaincy, you'll be heading to a lesser known ship doing stuff. Maybe routine, mundane things. But he says there's nothing like having your own command. But anyway, he decides he's not going to go. And there we go. He's going to stay on the Enterprise. And that's it. Off they go. And head out to the next mission. And he must get offered the captaincy another time, but I can't remember what. And then he gets offered the Melbourne, doesn't he? At the end of season 3. So, were he offered the captaincy before this? Is this the first time or the second time? I can't remember. This must be the second time. Because Admiral Hansen says this is the third time when he's offered the Melbourne. He says this is the third time we've pulled out the captain's chair for Riker. So, what were the other times? This is one of the other times. What's the other? I can't remember. Anyway, but there we go. The Icarus Factor. Not a bad episode. Like I say, it's about family and stuff, and it's nice with them doing what. He was offered the lollipop. I mean, he used that, didn't he? In that episode, it's a good ship. That's what he said, didn't he? I forgot what I was saying now. I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's a decent episode. Oh, yes. Yes, because it's about family, Riker and his dad not getting on, and Worf being irritable because it's his ascension thing. He wants to go through the ritual, and his friends sort that out for him, so yeah, that's fine. And there we go. So yeah, it's an okay episode. Not the best, but not the worst. It's okay. Moving on. Did I press it? This is another episode that I didn't like at first, but didn't quite mind it this time. It's still pretty close to the bottom for me. Pen Pals, by the way, is what we're on to next. Data does a big boo-boo in this for some reason. It should have been put on report, I think. But hang on, let me get a drink. For what he does in this, he basically breaks the Prime Directive. But anyway, right. So they headed to this section of space, well, these planets that are breaking up, it seems, for whatever reason. And Data picks up a signal from one of the planets. It's also where we learn that Picard likes to ride horses. I don't know if it's mentioned again until we get to Starship Mine. I think that's season 6, isn't it? But in this, he's going riding on the holodeck, and I wonder if this is his saddle. Is that the same saddle from Starship Mine? But a non-holographic saddle. That's what I'm trying to say. Has he brought this from his quarters? Every rider has their own saddle. Anyway, so he wants to go riding, but he keeps getting interrupted. Anyway, Data picks up this signal from another planet, and it's the voice of a young girl, and he's saying, "Is anybody there?" And he goes, "Yes." So he obviously responds to it. So he starts talking to this young girl on this planet that's having all these seismic anomalies, and it's breaking up and all that stuff. It's also an episode about Wesley being given essentially his first command, because I remember he's an acting ensign. So they're giving him command of a survey team that's going to check out all these various planets, and he's got to pick his team and all that stuff. So it's about him being a leader, and obviously, he does the job right, makes a good job of it, but obviously there's parts where he's unsure what to do, but he ends up doing the right thing, and his friends advise him and all that stuff. So that's that. And they come up with the solution to save the young girl. I've forgotten the name, Sarjanka or something like that. I can't remember. Hang on. Have I remembered it right? Probably not. Does it say? I'm close. Sarjenka. I was close. Anyway, Data's been talking to her, and I said Data's gone to see the captain, and he said, I think I've done something wrong. So anyway, you can't unscramble eggs. It's done. So they've got to go. They've got to work out what they're going to do. They've just got to basically leave them to die because the planet, they have some cool technology. They don't know about life on other worlds. So if they went there, they'd be breaking. He's already broken the Prime Directive, but if they went to help him, they'd be breaking it even more. But Picard, this is one of the times he decides that they've got to break the Prime Directive. They've got to go and help these people on this planet, even though, they shouldn't do. There she is. Data's beamed down. He's going to save her. Stuff's happening. So he takes her up to the Enterprise, beams her out. Her family have got to safety because he told them, if you go to this certain place, you'll be safe there. And she said, my family's gone there, but I went back for something. Thought, what kind of family has she got? Anyway, so why is there a child on my bridge? Whatever. Anyway, Wesley and his team have worked out if they use a photon torpedo and fit it with stuff, they can fire it down at the planet and it'll heal everything. It'll stop the seismic disturbances. She's watching all this, by the way. So they're going to erase her memories. Data says, what would it take to erase her memories? And says, well, if their brains are similar to ours, I'll do this, that, and the other. Luckily they are, but it still breaks the Prime Directive at the end because she likes this singing stone because it sings a different song for everybody except Data. Doesn't sing for him. So. Anyway, so they erase her memories and Data takes her back down, but leaves the singing stone with her. Anyway, and just leaves her there. Hopefully, her family will come back for it. It doesn't show us her family ever. They mustn't have been able to afford the makeup, I don't know. But they should have shown her family coming back and seeing that she was safe. But no, he just leaves her there in their house and beams back up. And there we go. That's it. And if I were Picard, I said, Data, you're on report for breaking the Prime Directive. In fact, the whole ship is for going along with it. We should have just let them all die. Let them die. But they didn't. They saved them. And I found out today that... so I was wondering what happened to Catherine Pulaski after season 2. So I looked it up. And I said, in the novels, she went back to the Repulse. She went to another ship as well. And she went back to this planet to see what happened, with them. And Sarjenka and all that. So I've not read them, so I don't know. But anyway, Pen Pals, not my favourite episode. But it's an interesting one, I suppose, because of the implications of the Prime Directive, when you should break it, when you shouldn't, and all that stuff. And also Wesley getting his first taste of command, I suppose you could say. But yeah, whatever. It's a mid episode. Moving on. Episode 16, Q-Who. This is probably the best episode. It's not probably, it is the best episode of the season, isn't it? Where we meet the Borg. Cool episode. By the way, season 2, has some good episodes in it. Like I said, we meet the Borg, we meet Kayla, who's super important to Worf. There's somebody else as well, I've forgotten who. I was thinking about it earlier on. And I'm blanking suddenly. And something else as well. But I can't remember what. But anyway. Is my show still going? Yeah. What's happening there? Oh. Right, Q-Who. Right. So, here we go. Oh, God, it's Sonia Gomez. I forgot about Sonia Gomez. A pigging hater. And she's in I think she's in the episode after this as well, isn't she? I think she's in these 2 episodes. There's this one and another one. More good than bad, I think. Yeah, episodes in this season, yeah. Yep, Season 2 was really good. Even better if they didn't have bloody Sonia Gomez in. How the hell did she make captain? I've no idea. There's an ensign in this. Like within 5 minutes, she's bloody captain in Lower Decks. I know that's a few years after this, like 20 years after or whatever, isn't it? But I don't like Sonia Gomez. She's dopey. There she is with the bloody, I don't know, hot chocolate or whatever she's got there. She's tips it over there, but tips it over Captain Picard because she's stupid. And he should have said, right, take her to the brig or put her out of the airlock. But anyway, Picard gets in the turbo lift and headed back to his quarters. But he ends up in a shuttlecraft with Q. So Q's up to summit. He wants to go and become a member of the crew, and they won't let him. Right, so she's hanging about. Why is she hanging about with Geordie? I don't know, but so they just do some work somewhere to sign her something. She's new to the ship. Go bloody scrape out something or whatever. Bugger off. Stop bothering me. I'm the chief engineer. Anyway, so, but he's giving her advice. He probably fancies her. It's Geordie, innit? But he won't get anywhere because he's unlucky in love, isn't he? Mostly. Anyway, right. So, Guinan realises something's up. And she gets in touch. She contacts the bridge. Excuse me. Says, where's the captain? And it turns out the captain's not on the ship. They don't know what's happened. So he says, right, whatever, take me back. So he takes him back to the ship, and this is where we somehow. Does she have powers? Because she's giving it all that. She got that bottle that we saw in Picard season 2 somewhere. I don't know. The Q summoning. I don't know. But he says she's an imp and all that stuff. Anyway. But he wants to join the crew. He wants to, I don't know, because he just does. But they said, we don't need you. I think that's what irks Q's. Oh, you don't need me. Right, then we'll see. We will see if you don't need me. And he sends them 7,000 light years into the path of a Borg cube. And so this is our first encounter with the Borg. Hang on. I'm saying a Borg beams over into engineering. Here they come checking it out. And he's just, the Borg's just doing his Borgy things. We mean you no harm. But he starts getting into the computer systems. Q's, being a nuisance. And I think they shoot him. Is this the one they shoot? Yes, he shoots him. Yeah, and he dies. Then another one appears, and he starts doing the same, but he's got a shield. I think they try shooting him. And obviously they've... for Pete's sake. He's what they call it. He's adapted, hasn't he? So they adapt quickly. He's got a shield look, and I like this bit actually. It's probably my favourite bit of the episode where Worf's shooting at him, and the Borg just looks at him. You ready? Go on, do it. Is he going to do it? Dun, dun. I don't. For some reason, it gives me the chills. That gives me the chills. Anyway, it finishes its job, and then it beams. It takes some bits off the other Borg and beams back, and then the other Borg just vaporizes or whatever, just disappears, Invaders style, leaving a little mucky patch on the carpet. Anyway, so they've got to find out what to do, and Guinan says, "Oh, the Borg came to my system and they swarmed through. Luckily I wasn't there, and they swarmed through and destroyed everything. You can't reason with them. They just destroy everything and assimilate everything." And then Q appears and says, "The Borg are the ultimate users." and all that stuff. So, all right, and then the Borg gets the Enterprise in a tractor beam. A type of laser beam is slicing into the saucer section. And hang on, I'm going to show it. This is, I suppose it's cool. Is it going to show it? Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. Cuts into it, and they're just tractor beaming that section out. Bit weird, but never mind. But there were 18 people in that section. 18 people lose their lives because of this. Anyway, so they blow a bit of this Borg ship up and run for it. So, but they can't keep running. The Borg's gaining on them. The beam over first. That's it. I forgot about that. The beam over first to see what's going on. But I want to see where they find a Borg nursery, don't they? Which we don't see again. These Borg babies, and they say, from birth. So obviously they've decided, or they haven't decided yet, that they're going to assimilate people. I'm guessing the Borg are just a race, like the Binars that just start replacing bits with cybernetic devices. There you go. Into what appears to be a Borg nursery, but we learn later that they have maturation chambers, don't they? If they get infants, because are there any original Borg left? They obviously started somewhere, didn't they? The Borg. So are there any original Borg? Are they all assimilated races now? I don't know, but anyway. The beam back. Beamer back, and this is where they make a run for it, and they can't escape. And Q appears saying, "No, they'll keep chasing you until your fuel runs out. They are relentless." And the tractor beam the Enterprise again. They wear down the shields, and it's where Q appears, and he says Picard is forced to say that he needs Q. So come on, Q, save us! I need you. That's how he talks. So he does. So he sends the Enterprise back. But because of this, the Borg now know of Starfleet, I suppose, and the Federation. So they're on the way now. So is this the same cube that appears in Best of Both Worlds? Is it the same one? They say that it's exactly the same dimensions, but I'm guessing it is the same one. But I also think, because it's not in the Delta Quadrant, is it? I don't think it is it? Are they if they are, they're in the near part of the Delta Quadrant. Is this the Borg cube that has been on the way since Enterprise's time, and the episode Regeneration? Don't know. Anyway, whatever. Great episode. I love Q Who. It's a great episode, and the Borg are amazing, and I love that bit where it looks round and scares the pants off me. But cool episode. Best of the season by a long way. Right, next. Samaritan Snare. I don't like Packleds. Don't like this episode. I'm a Packled phobe. They annoy me. I know there's a point to them, that don't judge a book by its cover. That's the point of the Packleds, isn't it? They're supposed to come across, supposed to be stupid, and they kind of are stupid, but they're sly, aren't they, as well? But anyway, Samaritan Snare. Right, what's the main part of this? I've got to bloody remember now. Right, so they come across this Packled ship. What's the other story? Oh God, she's there again. Look, hang on. Oh, she's there again. Thank God. I think she's only in these 2 episodes. Maybe why she's not in more, I don't know. But maybe other people didn't like her. Like that. She does my head in. Anyway. Right. Oh, yes, it's this one, isn't it? Yes, I just remembered. Yes, Picard and Wesley They're going to go in a shuttle. Because this is where we learn that Picard's got a false heart. Yamaha, you choose the heart. It just reminds me of it when we see it. Picard's got a false heart, an artificial heart, should I say, not a false one, an artificial heart. So anyway, it's got to go for a routine operation because it's malfunctioning or it's faulty or whatever. So he's got to go for that, and Pulaski orders him to go because he doesn't, for some reason, he doesn't want the crew to know about it. In his medical, surely Riker would know, wouldn't he? I don't know, but anyway. I mean, even if it's not in his medical file, the reason he's got the fake heart, not fake heart, artificial heart, that'd be in his general file, wouldn't it? That you'd think like Riker would have had a look at that, wouldn't you? But anyway, whatever. Wesley's going to this starbase to do something with that. His academy exams or something like that. He's heading. So this is where they're sharing a shuttlecraft, and like they do later in the first duty. Is it the first duty? No, not the first duty. I can't remember. Final duty. Whatever. Right, so they're going to be off the ship. So Riker's in command. Or he will be in command. There we go, Samaritan snare. That's why it's called that Samaritan snare. It's the Packleds trying to make out that they need help and trusting that whoever helps them, they can rip them off basically. Bit like the Borg. We've got 2 episodes one after another with a similar sort of species, I suppose. As the Borg are the ultimate users, and the Packleds are the ultimate, I don't know, thieves, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, we learn that they've even got Klingon technology. And a Scottish geek guy is here saying, "Howdy, folks. Hello, Scottish geek guy." I forgot what I was saying now. I'm easily distracted. Yeah, the Packleds, we learn later on that they've even got some Klingon technology. And I thought, how did they get that? Or did they just buy it off the Klingons? Or did they steal it? I don't know. I can't see him, going mano a mano with Klingons. But anyway. Right, so they come across this Packled ship. And they're heading to the starbase. He tells, on the way to the starbase, he tells Wesley about how he got his artificial heart in his fight with the Nausicaans at Far Space Starbase Earhart. And they got stabbed through the back and pierced his heart. And he even says, I remember I laughed out loud. And when we get to the episode Tapestry, they remember that, thank goodness. They remember that. Anyway, Scottish Geek says, I remember doing a TOYG marathon as a teenager. Good times. Yes, it is. Cool. It is never a bad excuse for watching some Star Trek. Anyway, here's the Packled ship. It's not very big, as you can see. But they're all like, our ship, mate, it's broken. Oh, whatever. Where are they going to show them? Whatever. Also, Worf doesn't trust them. He's saying, why are we doing this? Because they send Geordi over to help them repair their ship. It's broke, make it go. And Worf doesn't trust them. And she comes barging into the bridge. There's Troy saying, what are we doing? Why are we sending Geordi over there? They're being deceptive. They're not that stupid. And Worf looks all smug. But anyway... But Riker's saying, he'll fix it and we'll come back. There they are, the Packleds looking dopey. But they're not. They're all... they end up... They want him to stay there. He will stay here. He'll fix the ship and all that stuff. So they've got to find a way. They put the shields up or whatever, and they won't let Geordi beam back. And they keep shooting him. They keep phasering him. Stunning him with the phaser. This is Picard telling Wesley all about how he got stabbed through the heart. Because he was cocky back in the day. Riker, who's now showing off his captain material, even though he's just passed up the opportunity to become a captain of his own ship, is now being captain of the Enterprise, isn't he? So they've got to find a way to outwit the Packleads, which isn't that hard, to be completely honest. But anyway. Meanwhile, on the starbase, here we go, they're getting ready to sort out Captain Picard. But something goes wrong, and he's dying. And they send a message to the Enterprise, because they said, we need, and the surgeon or whatever says, I need somebody who knows this, that and the other. And one of the others says, I know somebody. So they get in touch with the Enterprise. It's Pulaski that knows how to fix him. Even though Picard, he didn't want her, she could have done the operation, because she said he'd done it loads of times, but Picard says it wouldn't be appropriate. I thought, what? She's a doctor. Why? What? It's a silly episode. I don't like this episode. It does me head in. Anyway, they outwit the Packleads and get Geordie to beam back, and they say we're not smart, and so, but whatever. Yeah, they outwit them, and they get over to the other starbase, and there we go. She works her doctoring magic and saves Picard. And there we go. And he comes back, and they all applaud him. And he says, "What are you applauding me for?" And then they head off. That's a nice shot, isn't it? That's a cool shot. To the next episode. I don't like Samaritan Snake. I don't like the Packleads. And it had Sonia Gomez in as well, so that's double trouble. Don't like that episode. So there. Next up, another episode I don't like. So 2 duff ones in a row up the long ladder. This is the one that's racist to Irish people. I don't think it can be racist to the Irish. The Irish aren't a race, it's a country, whatever. But I think, is this the one that Colin Mean is not a fan of? This episode. Anyway, they go into this. They get a signal from a colony. An Earth colony that they didn't know were out there. It went like hundreds of years ago, earlier or something. So they go in there. What's up with Worf? I can't remember. Oh, Worf collapsed. That was it. Worf looking all weird on the bridge, and he just fell over and collapsed. So they get him to sick bay. Turns out he's got the Klingon version of measles, so he'll be fine. But I don't know if they don't do anything else with it, I don't think, in the episode. I thought, is it going to give everybody else the measles, or is something going to come of it? But it's there for no reason, just for Worf to fall over and be saved by Dr. Pulaski, even though he didn't really need saving. I have no idea. But anyway, cool look. DY-500 ship, the SS Mariposa. They'd gone to this planet. I think there were some other ships as well, but they'd gone to colonise this planet. Well, 2123, so long before the time of Enterprise, the early 22nd century. That's when it went to colonise this planet, and they never heard from again. And they assumed they were destroyed, and apparently they're saying that been lost in the bureaucracy or something. So anyway, so they got in this distress signal or whatever. Pulaski goes to Worf's quarters and does the Klingon tea ceremony for some reason. So they go and they start beaming up the people from the colony, and it turns out they're all Irish, with chickens and ducks and and sheep and stuff. And they're all like, your typical, oh gosh and big horror and all that, I don't think is there any Irish people in this episode apart from Colin Meaney. Apparently, I don't think he likes this episode, does he? It's a bit stereotypical. But anyway, so they're there. They put him in a cargo bay, and they decide to just get hay from everywhere. They've got spinning wheel. They're not very advanced, are they? They've just made do on this planet for 200 years. But so these are the descendants of the original colonists, 200 and something of them. So they've had to beam them out for whatever reason. Obviously, Riker falls in love with her and ends up, well, it is assumed or presumed that, it basically dips his wick. That's how we'll put it with her. And I don't blame him, to be honest. This is the scene in question with her lovely knitted clothes. But there we go. It's Kirk Mark II. Right, so they're heading to the other planet with the other colony. Because he says, Did you ever find out what happened to the other colony? And he's like, oh, didn't know there were another colony. By the way, they're making booze. Because, the troublesome of the men, she seems to be in charge. She's ordering him about. They arrive at the other colony, and they're a technologically advanced colony. Is it going to show it? There they are. They're advanced. But it turns out they're all clones. They're all clones of the original colonists. But they're dying out. I'm guessing they had lots of twins and stuff in this. But they're dying out, and they want some DNA from the Enterprise crew. And they said, no, we're not giving you that. But we've got these Irish people you can have. And all that. What's he doing here? Oh, he's taking DNA, against people's will. But anyway, they decide that they're going to put I think they call them Mariposas, because from the ship the Mariposa. Going to leave them and say, basically shag each other. The women are going to have 3 husbands and kids from 3 different men if you're going to survive. So just get on, have a good old time down there. So that's basically it. It's crap. Bloody rubbish episode. It is terrible. I hate that episode. Not my least favourite, but it's up there or down there, whatever. Next, we're getting there. We're getting near the end now. Manhunt. Another 3 episodes in a row that I don't like. I'm not a big fan of this one either. Because it's Luxana Troy, and I'm not a fan of Luxana Troy. Maybe it's just the Troys in general that I'm not a fan of. Everybody loves, Majel Barrett, but I don't like Luxana Troy episodes. I didn't like him on Deep Space Nine either, when she would have to Odo all the time. Anyway, here we go. He's got his dress uniform on with his tights. Conference on Planet Pacifica for some reason. Why they call it that, don't know. But it's where we're going to meet Mick Fleetwood in a minute. Here he is. One of these is Mick Fleetwood. Why? Don't know. He dabbled. Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac, by the way. He dabbled his toe in acting for a while, didn't he, in the 80s? He was in The Running Man as well, and that's all I can think of him doing. This and The Running Man. But anyway, there he is. But there's in some sort of catatonic state. So they've got to move him to sick bay eventually. So anyway, so that's the B plot with them. They've got to look after these. I forgot what they're called. What are they called? Hang on, bear with me. Did it tell us? Because I can't remember. Antidian, whatever. So they're taking them to Pacifica. What happens? Can't remember. What happens? Luxana Troy, she's going as well. Turns out she's going through kind of the Betazoid menopause, and she's after a man. Any man, it seems, pretty much. She wants Picard, obviously, and she lures him to her quarters for a dinner, which she says is an ambassadorial thing. So he thinks everybody's going to be there, but it's just them. And she's basically seducing him, playing footsie and all sorts, and got cleavage out and all that. But he calls to Data, says, Data, come and help me, essentially. So Data starts using his small talk. Anyway, so she's... This is why it's called Manhunt, because she's on the hunt for a man. So there we go. And that's basically it for this. Oh, he goes and hides in a Dixon Hill story, which is boring. He keeps changing the hologram thing. So I want to relax, not get shot at. Anyway, then she decides she's going to marry Will Riker, and then doesn't want to, because she falls for the holographic bartender. And then is miffed when she finds out he's a hologram, and then kind of forgets all about it. So she's going to go to Pacifica and do a duty there, and then the Antideans have woken up, and then she says, actually, they're assassins, and they're going to blow up the conference because they've got explosives on them. So they throw them in the brig. Dunno, but they take him away, and she says, right, I better go and do me ambassadorial duties then, see ya. And then as she's transporting, she does like she did last time we saw her. She says, oh, Jean-Luc, thinking those sorts of things. Which he probably is. I mean, he's a man, isn't he, after all, and she's a handsome woman. But, yeah, crap episode. I hate that one as well. That's pretty low, you know, or high up or low down, however you want to put it, in my least favourite episodes. Rubbish. Next up is a really good one. A really good one. The Emissary. Nothing to do with Cisco. Not to be confused with Emissary, the pilot episode of Deep Space Nine. This is The Emissary. Right, they're playing poker. We see that Worf's good at it. Worf's good at poker. He's got a good poker face as Worf. Anyway, so they're ordered to go to somewhere or other and pick up a Federation. Is it not an ambassador? Don't think it's ambassador. Federation specialist, whatever. It might be ambassador. No, it's not an ambassador, is it? Hang on, what is it? What do they call her? Oh, just emissary, Federation emissary, whatever. Go and meet that. Who was essentially in a torpedo tube, torpedo casing that they've converted into a life raft. There's the Admiral sending them. So off they go. Oh, here we go. And they beam it aboard. It's travelling at warp, by the way. And they just, cause you see they're at warp, and then they get a tractor beam on it, and then beam it aboard. So, there we go. Anyway, they open it up. Excuse me. They open it up, and it's got somebody in it. There we are. It's Kayla. Susie Plaxon again. Being a Klingon this time. So she's been a Vulcan, a Klingon, an Andorian, and a Q. So and maybe others, I don't know, but saw something. Anyway, so it's Kayla, and we learn that she had a previous relationship with Worf. She's essentially the love of Worf's life, until Jadzia Dax comes along. But she probably is anyway. You know, even you know, I bet Worf thinks more fondly of Kayla than of Jadzia Dax. He's unlucky, isn't he, in love, is Worf. But anyway, never mind. So she's here anyway as the Federation ambassador. We learn that she's half Klingon, half human, and that I said that she's had a previous 6 years early. She'd had a relationship with Worf. He wanted her to go through the essentially marry. He wanted to marry her. But she wasn't willing to do that. So, anyway. But I can't remember what she's there for. What is it? Yes, that's it. Yes, there's a Klingon ship called the Tong, or T'ong, I don't know how to pronounce it. A Klingon battle cruiser, like Katinga class. that's been out there for 75 years with its crew in suspended animation. Why didn't they go and pick it up? I don't know. But anyway, it's been there for 75 years. And the crew's going to wake up and think they're still at war with the Federation. And she's there to stop them doing that. She has an argument with Worf and all that. So she decides to go and relax in Worf's calisthenics program. There he is. She fights Skeletor as well. Then Worf goes to check on her, and so they goes start level 2. So they have a good old time killing. It's the one where he chops Skeletor in half, isn't it? See if I land on it. I better don't. There we go. Eee, gore. So they finish all them off and then do it on the holodeck, I suppose. And then there'll be some poor ensign that'll have to go and clean up. Like Boimler. There we go. So essentially, this is where Alexander is. What's the word? Made. I can't think of the word. That. Right, so what they've got to do now, they've got to find this Klingon ship, and Kayla's saying, they won't listen to you because they think the Federation and Klingons are still at war, and they'll just attack you, and you'll be forced to destroy them. And that's what she's saying. That's what'll happen. Obviously, Picard don't want that to happen, obviously. So they have a cunning plan. Hang on. Is it gonna show us? I'm trying to see the Klingon there. Whatever. They have a cunning plan. They make out that Worf is the captain of the Enterprise and Kayla is his number one. And so he says, stand down, drop your shields, and all that stuff. You've been asleep for 75 years, la la la, and all that jazz. So there we go. So and everything's lovely. But it's a good episode. And Kayla leaves. They do a little thing. And then next time we see her, I think is it season 3? Is it Legacy, the episode? Or is it season 4? Where she's got Alexander, who's grown super quickly. He's like 2 years old, but he looks like 8-year-old or something. But anyway, so she's off to have a baby, have Worf's baby. And they love each other. He says, I will miss you. And there we go. Next. A good episode, because it just is. I like the emissary. It's a good episode. Because I like Kayla, and I wish she hadn't died. Spoilers. Right, next up. Peak performance. I like this episode as well. This is a good one. Where they're on the battle manoeuvres. The Enterprise is hosting a Zach Dawn strategist. We see the Zach Dawn in future episodes. They run the surplus yard at wherever it is, not Galland and Car. What is it? No, that's another place, isn't it? Wherever. And Unification, we see him in Unification. It's season 5, but in this is a strategist. Is this fella whose name I can't remember? It begins with K. Hang on. Kohlrami, Cerner Kohlrami, played by Roy Brocksmith, who were in Total Recall. He played the fella from Recall in that. Anyway, so they're going to do like a war game sort of thing. They're going to use an old Constellation class ship, the USS Hathaway, and Riker's going to pick 40 people to go aboard there, bring it up to not spec, but get it working again. And they're going to do combat manoeuvres and stuff, but not actually firing at each other, doing like simulated shooting at it. They're using like lasers, and it's Laser Quest. It's like super duper Starfleet Laser Quest. That's what it is. And the Zach Dawn strategist called Rami or whatever is going to write a report for Starfleet. The Zach Dawn are amazing strategists, so good that nobody dares fight them, even the Klingons apparently. But anyway, they're going to show him. Whatever. Anyway, right. So that's what they're going to do. Worf's building a boat out of, is it like a matchstick boat or something? I don't know, but and breaks it, and it's some sort of stress reduction, I think. Just hope they don't install an M5 unit. Yeah, well, that's what they didn't like. Do they? This is the M6 or something, or M7. No, they didn't. Maybe they did. Maybe it works fine now. Oh no, she's got a Klingon, the D7 or Katinga battle cruiser there, a little model. I wonder if it's an Eagle Moss. Anyway, so he's doing that. Anyway, is Riker's asking him, to be his first officer. So he says, right, I would be honoured. And he also wants Wesley to go with him, and Geordie. So they're going to go with, and various other people as well are going to go with him to the Hathaway and get it up and running again. There they are. Is it the Enterprise? Enterprise A. Is it the Enterprise A bridge? I don't know. A redress of it, maybe. I don't know. But anyway. So they've got to get all wires and stuff hanging out. They've got to get it going. They get the warp core up and running, but the dilithium crystal's all cracked and stuff. But they've got to make do. They haven't even got any antimatter. They can't even go to warp because there's no antimatter. But Wesley has an idea. He says, "Oh, can I go back to the Enterprise? I've got an experiment I need to shut down." So they say, "Fair enough." So off he goes over to the Enterprise, and get there with his experiment. But this is what they're going to use to get the Hathaway up and running, and even allow it to go to warp. By the way, this I forgot his name now. Glenn Morshower as is it Lieutenant or Ensign? I don't know. Can't make out his pips. Burke. We've seen him a couple of times, I think, in a few different episodes. But Glenn Morshower usually plays like federal agents or Secret Service agents in films and TV shows. He's been on like 24 and like loads of films. He's usually like protecting the president. Even in Godzilla, where the federal agent sent to find Tatapolis chap. But anyway, so there he is in Star Trek, keeping an eye on Wesley. But Wesley beams it over. He says, "Oh, it's broken. I'm going to have to beam it out into space, but to get rid of it." But he just beams it over to the Hathaway, and this is going to help them get going. Anyway, earlier on, we learned that the Zach Dawn chap called Rami is an expert at stratagem, which is like a computer game where I'm doing that because they stick things on the fingers and go like that. Loads of thimbles with wires on. And Riker decides to, challenges him to a match. He knows he's going to lose, but he just wants to say, "I've been up against the most amazing stratagem game player in the world." And then Data decides to have a go and gets beaten. Gets beaten by the Zach Dawn, and he don't understand, so he thinks something's wrong with him. So he basically confines himself to quarters. He takes, stops, says, "I'm not doing bridge duties anymore because I might." He has a crisis of confidence. That's what happens. So he's running diagnostics and stuff, and they can't talk him out of it. Anyway, they say, Data needs a good stiff talking to. So the captain says, do your duty, Data. So he says, okay. Anyway, they get the Hathaway up and running, but then as they're doing the battle simulations, a Ferengi ship arrives, shooting at them with Armin Shimmerman, not as Quark as somebody else. And for some reason, they're interested in the Hathaway. Say, why are you attacking this old ship? As there's something valuable on board. Seems like a bit of a vague thing to come in, but anyway. So they should just say, no, go away. We're doing war games. It's what you're talking about. Just go away, or we'll shoot at you. Oh, they can't shoot at them, can they? Because they've had all the weapons taken offline. So they didn't, accidentally destroy the USS Hathaway. So anyway, they get some photon torpedoes up and running, and they decide they're going to destroy the Hathaway. I thought it was this episode where he did the Picard maneuver, but it's not. They fire a photon torpedo at the Hathaway, and then, but at the instant they detonate, the Hathaway jumps away at warp, and so the Ferengi think the Hathaway's been destroyed, and the Ferengi just go. Oh my! Also the Worf does a ruse where he makes the Ferengi think another Federation ship is coming in, and that they've been, they're outmatched, and the Ferengi just run away. It's a bit poo, to be honest, but never mind. And then the Zach Dawn is all happy, and he says, "Oh, you did really well there." And then Data has another go at stratagema with him, and basically ends as a stalemate, and he just goes away in a huff. There's Kolrami says, "Oh, you've offended me," and they said to him, "You won, Data." And he says, "No, I didn't. It was a stalemate." But he were expecting to win, and it was basically just keeping him on an even keel, so to speak, just matching his moves, so nobody could win. So there we go. So, and they're all happy with him, and Data's the hero of the hour, and off they go to another adventure. It's good, his Pete performance. I like it. I like Pete performance. It's a jolly wheeze, and I could have sworn this was one where he did the Picard maneuver, but he didn't. But never mind. Right, next up, the final episode of season 2 is Wyngrace's favourite episode, Shades of Grey. It's the famous Star Trek clip show. Clip shows are not always a bad thing. Just ask Stargate. They were always doing clip shows in Stargate, but they kind of did them well. And in this, I think they've done it well in this as well. I don't think it's as bad as everybody makes it out to be. But anyway, right. They're on a planet, and Riker gets bitten by something or whatever. Pardon me, on his leg. So they beam him up, and it turns out he's got some sort of infection that's going to kill him. And it's a virus or something that's in his blood that's connected to his memories. Clip show. So they've got to find a way, and that says he's going to die if they don't find a way to neutralise what's in his blood. He's been all brave about it, and he's laughing and joking. But they said, he's going to die. Anyway, so they find out it's about his memory store. They start showing clips from earlier episodes. This is from The Last Outpost, isn't it? Where he's going, anybody, and all that stuff. And then we also see other things. But then they find out, so they're showing like happy memories. There's meeting Data for the first time on the holodeck, and all that stuff. And that accelerates the virus. So he starts dying even harder. No Bruce Willis's. So then they find out that the virus, what killed... Oh, here's another clip of, what's her face? Minuet. So Obviously, that's a nice memory. Oh, and the Irish woman. Another nice memory. So it's killing him even more. The only way they snuck Beverly into season 2. Well, there's a clip with her in it. I wasn't paying attention. We see Armus, don't we, and all that. Yes, we see Tasha Yar and all that, don't we? So they find out that if he has bad memories, that kills the virus. So they've got to start forcing him to have bad memories. So that's when we see Skin of Evil and Tasha Yar's death. Phasers. And yes, Beverly, yeah, not as good a doctor though as Thingamabob Pulaski, but anyway. So they keep forcing him to have bad memories, and that give the conspiracy where he's fighting a stunt double. Two stunt doubles fighting each other, and that does the trick. See him getting attacked by Merritt Bootrick. There, gets pulled into the Armus pool, and that does the job. That kills it off. Oh, excuse me. And he's all better, and they're happy. And she was really worried, was Diana. But now he's all better, and off they go to season 3. Probably meeting up with the Repulse and dropping off Dr. Pulaski. Then I don't know when Beverly came back on board, but she's back on board in the next episode, which is one of my favourites. But anyway, that's season 2. A good season, despite what people say. Shades of Grey, by the way, the finale. It's not a cliffhanger. It's a clip show. A well-made clip show, I think. I think it was pretty good, to be honest. Not as bad as everybody makes out. I don't think it is. So, there we go. He's one of his nice memories. Anyway, on that planet where they were going to kill Wesley, weren't they? Because he fell over like a clumsy ass. Anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of season 2. A pretty good season. As Wingrace said, there we go. More good than bad. Yes, more good episodes than bad episodes. Most of them were good. About out of the 22 episodes, I think there's only about 5 that I genuinely don't like. Maybe less than that, actually. Maybe 3 episodes that I genuinely don't like. But the rest of them are all perfectly solid episodes, and just good stuff. We meet the Borg, we meet Kayla. There were another thing that I've forgotten. But you can remember it well. Q's in it. It's cool. Winger says, I'll have to watch it again because I always use it as an example of really bad clip shoe. Clip shoe. Well, you might still, just because I like it, don't mean it's good, just because I like it. Stargate did clip shows really well. But thank God they didn't do another in Star Trek. But anyway. So, right, there we go. That's season 2 done with. Right. Season 3 next. I think season 3 will be in the new year. Because next week's Christmas. Not next week. Week after's Christmas, isn't it? And then it's New Year. So it'll be some time after. So it'll be a while until I get round to season 3. So, there we go. Right, we'll leave it there. But season 2, give it a watch. There's some really, really good episodes in there, in my opinion. So it's really, really worth a watch. Right, so done. What's coming up next then? What day are we on? Wednesday. What am I doing on Friday? I can't remember. Yes, it's Friday the 13th, isn't it? Hang on. It's Friday the 13th. Hang on. There, Wingrace is talking. Stargate did them so well, you forget that's what they were. Essentially, yeah, they did them quite often as well. They had quite a lot of clip shows, did Stargate. But they integrated them well. You always knew there were a clip show happening, because in the opening credits it always says, excerpts by, and then lots of names. Anyway, but yeah. Right, anyway, on Friday night appointment with Fear, because it's Friday the 13th this week. So we're watching Friday the 13th, part 2. We did part 1 a while ago, so it's part 2 this time. And then next Monday, for Magnificent Mondays, we're going back to Star Trek. Star Trek, the motion picture, the director's edition. Great film. Didn't like it when I saw it as a kid, when I was 12 years old. I thought it was boring. Also didn't help that I took my young nephew with me, and he was very distracting. I think he was bored as well. But, he kept telling the man behind, the man with his son behind, and he kept saying, "My Uncle Steve can beat you up." I was 12. Anyway, whatever. But I love it now. Right. So we'll leave it there. We're done and dusted. Right, so thanks for watching. Thanks, Win Grace and Scottish Geek Guy and Josh Temple. Did anybody else pop in? I don't think they did we? And congratulations to the new members. So we've got I've got a few more members now that are gifted earlier on. So I hope you make use of the member privileges of seeing early access stuff and exclusive stuff, and joining in the live chats as well. So, right, we're done and dusted, so we'll leave it there. Whew. Hang on, I'm just finding my stuff. There we go. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, live long and prosper, and until next time, I'll say